Claremont's going to go all the way.
Okanagan has it just over the 50. The pitch is to Houston on the left side. Houston has it at the 50, cuts it inside to the 45, 40, and he's going to go. Houston at the 20, touchdown Okanagan. Now in 1999, the Fratmen are making another run for the national title, and they're doing it literally on the ground with a featured tailback tandem of Craig Carter and Terrence Spina, the two of them combining for 19 touchdowns during the 99 campaign. Out west, the Okanagan Sun are coming into this national title game for the third straight year, and they've done it with defense. Star cornerback Jared Hoover leads a talented tandem that has held opponents to under 16 points a game. On offense, Zach Silverman has thrown for over 20 touchdowns, and reserve quarterback Jonathan Spencer, who the biggest one that got them into this national title game. It's Okanagan, Windsor, next. In its storied history, Windsor Stadium has played host to many big football games with big-name players. They did it in '89 with the Canadian Bowl, and today they're getting ready to do it again with the 1999 Canadian Bowl for the national championship. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Frank Graziano, welcoming you to the special sports presentation brought to you by Cogeco Cable Television. Geographically, 4,000 kilometers separate these two football programs, Windsor and Okanagan. However, their successes on the field have mirrored each other over the last 5 years. We'll start out west with Okanagan. The Sun have won 5 straight conference championships coming into today's game. The first of those came in 1995. While here in Windsor, the Fratmen have won 37 straight games in conference play. That results in 4 championships. However, the big thing is this. They haven't won outside of the province. They're 0-3 coming in. And joining me now is the lead analyst from the Okanagan Sun, 1988 defensive coordinator of that national championship team, Darren Prowse. The keys to this game, Darren.
Well, the keys to this game, Frank, are going to be Zach Silverman for the Okanagan Sun. Zach has to have a stellar and a very intelligent game to be successful against a very tough AKO defense. At the AKO side, Chris Carter is definitely the key. They've got a great running game, and Okanagan is going to have to be really sharp in order to defend that guy.
So it's Silverman through the air, Carter on the ground. It's a role reversal of what happened last year in the 1998 West semifinal when it was Terrence Houston on the ground for Okanagan, running wild in a 27-10 win over Windsor. When we come back, we'll have opening ceremonies and the opening kickoff. You're watching the 1999 Canadian Bowl live on Cogeco Cable Sports. The third man in the booth is Kane Carter, specialist with AKO. Their game plan quickly, Kane.
Basically to run the football. The key for AKO today will be to establish that and get that moving.
All right, we're going to join Dominic Papa now. He is our field reporter for this national championship. Dom, what do you have?
The fullback is number... Thanks a lot, guys. As you can imagine, the adrenaline is just pumping down here on field level, and should be a great contest. We're just moments away from the opening kickoff, but let me tell you, this game is filled with stars, all stars. In the OFC, the AKO Fratmen placed 13 players on the first team all-conference squads. 7 of them on the offensive side. Also included on that offensive side, quarterback Dan Gray, and the league's most outstanding offensive player, running back Craig Carter. On the defensive side, of course, the AKO Fratmen feature defensive specialist Terrence Spina. As for the Okanagan Sun, they placed 6 players on the British Columbia Conference All-Star team. 3 of them on the offensive side, 3 of them on the defensive side. On the offensive side, quarterback Zach Silverman was a unanimous choice to lead the British Columbia All-Star. So a lot of stars playing in this contest. Should be an outstanding one. Get ready because it's going to be a good one. Let's go back up to the booth now.
There is a lot of talent on this field today for 60 minutes. Kane, the biggest story is this. They've been predominantly a passing team during the Bloomfield era. Now they're going to the run. What about Dan Gray? Can the coach put the ball in his hands if they do have to go to the air today?
Oh, absolutely. You saw last year in the semifinal meeting, it was Gray's injury that really put the dagger in AKO's heart and allowed his son to wind up advancing to the Canadian Bowl last year.
Well, he's only thrown 112 times this season. That's only an average of 10 attempts per game. Silverman, on the other hand, throws it up any shot he can, Darren. 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns. That is Maha Atagwe. He'll move to right corner today, wearing 33 for AKO, moving from the safety position. It's a defense, Kane, that's been awesome, only giving up 9 points a game.
Yeah, they're a defense that's really predicated on pressure. Defensive coordinator John Bloomfield will tend to bring the kitchen sink whenever the opportunity arises, and as long as AKO can maintain pressure on Silverman, they have a chance to be in this football game.
The Frat are ready. Okanagan has been introduced, and you can also pick up this game live. This Canadian Bowl broadcast is being simulcast on the internet in conjunction with CKOB 63 Kelowna Radio. Sponsor, Kelowna Ford Lincoln. Being live, and I understand, Darren, a big 500 plus at the Apple Bowl, maybe 1,000 listening in. But now we're getting ready for the national anthem in the summer, just over 150 days ago. And now they're going to have 60 minutes to make it happen and realize their dream of winning a national championship. This has been AKO's goal for 4 years. For Okanagan, they didn't expect to be there, but they're gelling at the right time. Stajic will line it up at the 45 as we're moments away from the opening kickoff for this national championship. Bruce Carter is the head official. Whistle blows, Stajic lines it up, he kicks it, low leaning line driver. It's going to bounce short, it's going to be picked up by the up man. Having it on the return is Nick West, over to the right side, breaks it up over the middle, and that's where they'll start. The Okanagan offense at the 28. And they'll be led by quarterback Zach Silverman. Up front, it's Alan Sandheim, Christy Adams, and Owens. The wide receivers on this unit, Adam Eckert, Jeff Sheeman, and Jeremy White. All conference, Trevor Bourne, Tim Thorpe, and Zach Silverman, of course, will be the starting quarterback. They'll be 1st and 10 at the 29 for the Sun. Bourne is the fullback. Thorpe is the tailback. Silverman over center. The give is to Thorpe at tailback. He breaks over the left side, and he's got a seam up to the 40, 45, and finally run down by Maha Otagwe, but a first down on a gain of 16 yards for Thorpe.
Well, a good start for the Okanagan Sun as they give the ball to Thorpe. He had some great blocking on the left side there by Eric Ellum and Kelvin Sandheim, and a good job, and it looks like we've got an Okanagan first down.
That was a quick look at the defensive lineup. Their key players come in the linebacker position, and we'll look at them later. First down at the 46-yard line for Okanagan, coming off a 16-yard run to open up this Canadian Bowl. Silverman is over center. They're pitching it to the right. It's going to be Thorpe again running to the right. Good cut up the lane, and then he's brought down after a 3-yard gain. Sean Namlin coming up to make the tackle for the AKO defense.
That was a good job by Ron Cunningham coming up out of the secondary. Actually, they're closed well.
So it's a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. We expected Okanagan to throw the ball a lot, but Coach Lawrence Nagy showing a different look with everything at stake here in the national title. 2nd and 9 at the 46 for the Sun. Silverman under center. Eckert is split wide left. Derry is to the right. Flag on the play. Silverman rolling right. Being chased and run out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Lead man on that pursuit for the Fratmen, John Comiskey, an all-conference defensive lineman. We'll wait on the flag and the call from head official Bruce Carter. What do you think, guys, on that call?
Appeared the Frats jumped the gun a little. We're offside.
And they were. Encroachment is the call. And rather than a 3rd and 8 on the Silverman 2-yard run, Okanagan is going to get 5, and they're going to have a 2nd and short situation, 2nd and 4. Just over the 50-yard line for the Sun. What kind of packages are we looking at here, Darren, in short yardage situations for the Sun offense?
Well, they previously did a lot of passing, so we'll look for Jeremy White on this play.
Silverman is under center. 2nd and a long 4. David is on the near side. Eckert and Thorpe on the wide side. Quick hitter on the outside, and David has it for a first down, breaking over midfield to the 51-yard line. Dominic Papa has a special guest with him on the sideline. Dom, what do you have?
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, you heard a sweet voice singing today's national anthem. No stranger to these parts, certainly. Karen Newman, the voice of the Detroit Red Wings. Karen, welcome to the city. Welcome to the telecast. And tell me, just a little bit different for you here this afternoon, singing a national anthem for a football game?
Well, it is. It's a whole lot warmer than singing, down for the Red Wings. But it's pretty exciting that the crowd's very charged up. This is a great game, huh?
Certainly. It's Canadian Championship. You're a pretty busy lady, but you do make some appearances over in Windsor. Quickly, you can tell us what you're up to in these parts.
Well, sure. Windsor is hockey town as well as downtown Detroit, and so there's a lot of good things going on. Later on this month, I'll be out at the Windsor Arena for a special event, a charity hockey game for, I think it's called Hockey Town, or Hockey Face-Off for Cancer, which is a great program. Involved last year and invited back this year, and I'll be down there, like I say, I think it's the last Saturday in November.
We're all fortunate to get to watch you at the Red Wing games, of course, but certainly I know you're pursuing bigger and better things. You've been out in L.A. a lot. How's the career coming around?
The career's really coming around great, Don. Thanks for asking. You know, I was trying to break into the national spotlight, but my heart, and actually I don't think I'd ever physically leave this area. It's my home. But in order to get the work that I want to get, of course, I have to make a large commute to L.A., which I'm willing to do. But it's going well. Everything's really going very well for me.
We wish you the best of luck, Karen. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. A pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
And we're going to go back up to the booth now to the action with the guys.
7 yards on the play. All right, thanks, Dominic. Two carries for Thorpe, 17 yards. He's run well so far. 4 carries, 38 yards, and they're doing it on the ground. They haven't had to all season, but they're getting it done early against this tough, stingy, bend but don't break AKO defense. We'll see how it plays out. Silverman is over center on what is a 2nd and 3 at the AKO 30. Thorpe across the middle, not this time. He's going to be stuffed up front. Leading the way was Dan Janik and Mike Stojan, and they're going to fall maybe just short, or he may have leaned forward to get into a 3rd and 1 situation. Waiting on the spot. Darren, if it is a 3rd and 1 situation, coach have a tendency to go for this, or did they have the range with Kevin Snell to attempt an early field goal?
Well, Lawrence would be glad to, I think, take the points with this drive and come away with a 3, so they'll go with the field goal.
I think it's been a while since you've been there in '88, Darren, because coach is going to go for it. He talked about getting an early lead. This falls right into that. David on the right. Thorpe and White on the left. The give is up the middle to Trevor Bourne, and I don't think he's going to have it. He was stuffed up front on the right side by Matthews and Stojan. We'll wait for the spot, but the AKO defense is playing it out as if it's going to be a turnover on downs. Here's a look at it. Kane, what's happening up front there with that AKO defense?
And as you're about to see on the replay, it looks like they just gave to the fullback inside, and big Lance Matthews and Mike Stojic managed to close that down. Hand off to the fullback inside. He just runs right into the Lance Matthews. Matthews slid down through the hole. There was no scoop block to pick him up, and that was the end of the play.
Not even close. On the measurement, about a yard short. And the first try stalls for the Sun offense. They did it primarily on the ground with 7 running plays, only going to the air once. But nonetheless, it stalls, and AKO is going to take over on downs. First drive of the game results in a turnover on downs. AKO is going to start at the 27. Paul, you run on that offense here the next So AKO is going to line it up, and their main man on offense will be Craig Carter, who's going to move from his tailback position to the slot back. He's wearing number 10. And in fact, he's going to line up wide left here on the first set. Matthews is the fullback. Spina, the tailback. The give is to tailback. Off tackle right, and he's going to get about 4 or 5 yards. A different look for the offense there by Coach Bloomfield. Looking at that offense, AKO starts up front with Session, Appleyard, Strong, and Vivier. The receivers are Tony Smith, Jeremy Marchand, and Harris. Harris has been an All-Canadian twice. Terrence Spina, Carter, Ron Jacobs, and Dan Gray is the starting quarterback. Gray, of course, led the nation in efficiency at 135-1 in 1997, but he's far removed from that now. He only had a 83-1 this season. Remember, he only threw the ball 112 times. Gray on the give to Spina. This time they're going to go left side. He avoids Thackeray in the middle, and he's going to be punched up maybe a yard short of the first down. He needed to get to the 37. He may have got to the... They're going to mark him at the 34, so it's a 2-0 for the AKO offense, and a good start for the Sun defense.
Yeah, just what the Sun defense wanted, led by Ryan Sheeman and Ryan Volk, able to stuff that run, and 1-2, and Windsor's going to have to punt.
Stajic will be the punter. The deep men are going to be David and Eckert. Eckert will be lined up on the left, David at the right. David is at the 30, Eckert is at the 27. Stajic is going to line up the kick from his own 20. So a 2-0 for the Fratmen on their first offensive set. Low snap, Stajic recovers, and he has plenty of time. End over end, it's going to fall at the 36 and be picked up by David at the 33. Cut back over the middle, and Spina's right there to get him down. Spina will go 3 ways. He'll go special teams, he'll go offense, and he's an all-star, all-conference linebacker, and that's where Okanagan will start after the 2-yard return at the 35. Here's a look at it right here.
And we we see the pound coming down. It's picked up, and there's a good job by Ron Cunningham, the contain man, and Spina comes in to clean up. He's a great athlete. You'll find him all over the field all day.
Make it 33 yards officially on the kick. And 2 yards on the return. Silverman is over center, 1st and 10 for the Sun at the 35. In motion is David on the left side, and we have whistles long before the play. Guys, what do you think on this?
That looks like procedure, Okanagan.
Well, we're going to get a timeout. The Frat are going to get a timeout here early, only 5 minutes into the first quarter of this national championship game. Frat used their first timeout. Okay.
Well, it's not a good time to have to use it, but it's one of the consequences of using a lot of guys both ways and trying to double up and get your best athletes on the field is sometimes it leads to confusion. And in terms of the opening drives for both teams, really, they've both settled down now, and we should be able to see the real offenses of both teams show up.
Well, the real offenses means getting Jeremy White involved, wearing 18 for the Okanagan Sun. He was a big-time star, especially in the final 2 weeks. Nagy says he comes in on a roll, and he does, setting 2 franchise records during this playoff run to this title game, Darren.
Yeah, exactly, but the Okanagan haven't been blessed with healthy running backs for the past 2 games, so it looks like they're starting to go back to the run and maybe trying to establish that with Trevor Bourne and Tim Thorpe being successful here in the first minutes on the run.
Yeah, Trevor Bourne is a UBC transfer and a member of the 1997 Vanier Cup team with the Thunderbirds. 1st and 10 after the penalty. After the timeout, rather. And this is Thorpe breaking the tackle over the left side and racing down to the 47-yard line. Another good gain, 12 yards for Thorpe.
Well, that's just good running by Thorpe there. He was tackled, looked like initially at the line of scrimmage, and was able to backstep a few. AKO didn't keep contained. He broke to the outside there and made a first down.
So Thorpe gains 12 on the play, and on 6 carries early in this first quarter, he has 50 yards on the ground. He's lined up again at tailback. Bourne is going to be the fullback. Jeremy White is set up in the slot off the left side, coming in motion into the right. White's going to block. Eluding Spina is Thorpe, and then breaking it over the middle into the outside to the 52 for a good 4-yard gain, making something out of nothing.
Well, that was a good break for the Okanagan because it looked like Thorpe could have been dropped there for a loss of at least 10 yards. He eluded the first tackle and was able to get about a couple yards.
All right, let's go down to Dominic Papa. He has a report for us.
Thanks a lot, guys. There's an awful lot of respect among the 2 coaches of this game. Of course, John Bloomfield of the AKO Fratmen. He's so impressed with Coach Nagy and his team, their work ethic. He had nothing but good things to say about them before the game. He says, it's simply put, to get to this game, you have to be a good team. As for Coach Nagy, he loves the speed and the aggressiveness of this AKO Fratmen team. We'll see how that plays out during the game, but certainly the respect is on the line, no question about it. Both these teams respecting each other. Back up to the guys.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Silverman overshoots David there, and it's going to be a punt situation after 4 plays. So again, a good hold by the Frat defense.
Yeah, you saw Anthony Harris, who's an all-Canadian wideout that's flipped over playing defense, had great coverage on the fade route.
So we're going to get our first look at Kevin Snell. Actually, not Kevin Snell, make it Thackeray. Corey Thackeray, who doubles as a punter for the Sun. The deep man is Sean Amlin, a serious threat in any game to break it. He has 3 returns. The team has 3 returns for touchdowns over the last 2 games. Thackeray angles it away from Amlin, but it finds its way back to him. He's going to field it dead center at the 25. Good pursuit by the Sun special teams unit to hold the dangerous Amlin in check.
Well, Coach Pat Katner has really emphasized contain against Spina, and it looks like the Okanagan Sun succeeded in doing that, and they just closed it down and dropped them for no yards.
Yeah, Ryan Folk was there on the pursuit. He's a special teams giant, says head coach Lawrence Nagy. The Fratmen are going to start now at their own 28 for the second time on offense in this first quarter with 7:45 remaining and still no score. Gray is under center. Play action pass. Gray's going to throw for the first time, and he's going to hit Jeremy Martian, his tight end, over the 45, and finally run out of bounds by Folk at the 50-yard line. Coach Bloomfield said he was going to go play action when he was going to go to the air, and he found his leading receiver, Jeremy Martian. Here's a look at it, Kane.
You see the Frat who have run the ball the first 2 times go play action, hold the linebackers. Dan Gray steps up, finds his big tight end, Jeremy Marchand, who's still a high school student in the flat. He's able to turn it up and get ridden out of bounds after a good gain.
Yeah, Marchand attends Bell River High School. He's 18 years old. Gray is over center. Carter again lined up at the slot back. Not getting a look at tailback as Lance Matthews, the rumbling fullback, up the middle. Getting 10 and another first down for the Frat.
And that really is the Frat's bread and butter play. We'll see that again here on a replay. If you look inside, the Frat run trap to the fullback, bring the guard across to kick out, and all of a sudden the Red Sea parts and big Lance Matthews rumbles up the middle for a first down.
Windsor opened the drive at the 28. 2 plays later, they're at the Okanagan 50. A 21-yard completion, a 10-yard run by Lance Matthews. Gray with the fake pitch, give to Matthews again over the middle, not this time. Defensive front, led by Howie and McKenzie, Darren. Good stop by the Okanagan defense.
Yeah, well, they got hurt with that play once, but not twice, as the Okanagan Sun defense stays home, tries to control their gap, and does a good job on stopping that play.
Yeah, exactly, Darren. That backside linebacker closed that off completely.
So the gain is 2. It'll be at the Sun 48-yard line, and Windsor will be faced with a 2nd and 8 situation. Gray is over center. Anthony Harris is lined up to the left. In slot right is Tony Harris. Carter is in motion, stepping up to the end position. Fake to Matthews. Gray's going to go to the air. He's going to go for it all. It's Harris who pushes off on Hoover. There is no call, and Gray overshot Anthony Harris.
Well, interesting play there. It looked like there was some offensive pass interference as the player grabbed the Okanagan corner to the ground. We'll see here on the replay exactly what happened, but good coverage by the Okanagan Sun corner.
There's the contact at about the 10. It slowed up both players, and they weren't able to get to it. Overthrown by about 10 yards. So Bloomfield now and Windsor faced with a 3rd and 8 situation. No chances early. Field position for the Fratmen. They're going to line up Alex Stajic at the AKO 50 to kick it away. Good time, good snap. High booming kick. David runs under it at the 15. It's going to elude a tackler, elude another, and then finally be dragged down by Tony Smith at about the 16-yard line. He ran a long way laterally, but got no yardage, and that's where the Sun offense will start. 1st and 10 for the 3rd time in this first quarter. They'll start at the 16-yard line.
Well, if we're looking for field position here, the AKO Fratmen are winning in that department, as the Sun offense is going to start off deep in their own zone for this series.
We're just under 6 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Still no score in this 1999 Canadian Bowl for the national championship. Silverman is under center. Thorpe is the tailback. Bourne is the fullback in motion to the left. Thorpe now breaks in motion. It's a wide open set. 5 deep, and Silverman doesn't have a chance. Breaking through the line for the Fratmen was the big fellow, Mike Stojic, off the right side. It's going to be a loss of 8 yards.
You see AKO blitzes in the middle. You see the linebacker come into the picture. That causes the Sun to block everyone down, and actually it's John Comiskey, the big tight end, or the big defensive end, that comes through and takes him out.
Comiskey was an all-conference defensive lineman for Coach Dan Hogan and the Windsor AKO Fratmen. Sun are faced with a 2nd and 16 situation at their own 9-yard line. Just under 5 minutes left. Rolling left is Silverman. The coaches were concerned about this. Let's see how it plays out. He's got White, and White has the catch in the first down. It's a timing route on a hook pattern outside. Jeremy White, the all-conference player, makes his first catch.
Well, good job for Jeremy White to get into the game here, and we'll see Silverman rolling out to his right. He's got good blocking. He's got lots of time. He waits till White gets open. You can see here he's got some space between him and the defensive receiver, and a good pass there for the completion and to get the Okanagan Sun some room.
That's White's first catch, Silverman's 2nd completion. He's 2 for 2, 28 yards. And he's under center this time at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Give it to Thorpe, not this time. Stuffed up front is Thorpe by Mark Howie, the defensive tackle. No, I'm sorry, not Mark Howie. Let's make it on the defensive tackle.
Lance Matthews.
Lance Matthews. Thank you, Kane.
Yeah, Lance is a product of a very successful high school program in the Windsor area, the Herman Green Griffins. Lance was a star fullback and defensive player there.
They'll give him 2 on the carry, being pushed up front, and it'll be a 2nd 12. Actually, they're going to give him 2 on the loss. Field marker is incorrect. It's 2 on the loss. It's going to be a 2nd and 12 from the 25-yard line. In motion is White to the right side. Flag is down. The look is to White over the middle. He has it at the 35, and then he's brought down quickly by Maha Atagwe, but there is a flag pending, and we'll wait for the call from head official Bruce Carter with 4 minutes remaining.
Well, it looks like we've got procedure. No, got an offside on the AKO Fratmen.
So now it's decision time for head coach Lawrence Nagy. Take the 5 and go with the 2nd and 7, or take the Jeremy White completion to the 35 and go with a 3rd and 2.
Well, I guess wrong on the first thing, so I'm going to be conservative here, and I'll say you'll take the penalty.
Offside, number 1, Windsor. Up 5 yards. 2nd down, repeat it.
Spina was the man offside. Coach John Bloomfield talked about moving Spina from his linebacker position to the end position to put some heat on Silverman in long yardage situations. We saw that there, but he was a little eager, jumping the gun, and it's going to bring up, they take the penalty, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 7 rather than a 2nd and 12. Second penalty for the Frat today. Silverman is under center. David is wide right, in motion right. Is Jeremy White, and he's looking to White, who cuts in on the curl, and it's undershot and almost coming up with the pick for the Fratmen defense out of the corner position.
Number 34, Anthony Harris.
There you go. Anthony Harris almost came up with the pick, and we'll get a look at it right now.
You see Silverman getting outside. He's got the force from the linebacker, and good height by the linebacker. Simic forces a poor throw, and Harris is almost able to come back from his defensive position and pick up the interception.
So Corey Thackeray is sent in to punt for the Okanagan Sun. Sean Amlin, self-dubbed prime time, an idol of Deion Sanders, will be back at the 36-yard line. He promised to make something happen in this game. He's 0 for 1 today, only a 2-yard return, bottled up on the first kick earlier in this quarter. Good snap to Thack. Thack, great high booming kick. Fielded by Amlin, who has time at the 43. But good pursuit again and nothing doing. Leading the way for the Sun was Ryan Sheeman. 2 returns, 2 yards total.
Well, again, a great job by the Okanagan punt team. They got down there. You could see once again there was contained. Amlin had to wait. There was nowhere to go. He just kind of tried to take it up the middle, but the Okanagan Sun with 3 guys there, and it's just a pretty hard task for Amlin to make anything out of that.
1 versus 5 situations don't tend to come around too well for you.
No. Well, if Okanagan can pull that off for the next 3 quarters, they're going to be well off in the special teams area. They were concerned there, but they're looking good early. 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Still no score. Tony Smith is in motion right. Gray is over center. Lone step back in the backfield is Carter, and his first look over the left side is going to get him about 4 yards to the 48-yard line.
Well, big stop there by Ryan Sheeman, number 40, with some help from Corey May, number 38. We'll see on the replay here.
Yeah, Darren, it looked like Carter had some room here, but that was a good fill by the backer.
Yeah, number 40, the initial tackle there, and then the finish off by the right halfback, number 38, Corey May.
Windsor will have it. 2nd and a long 7 from their own 48. 2 sets wide for the Fratmen. Motion is moving to the right. Gray is rolling to the right. He's got time. He steps back. Now he's in heavy pursuit, and he's going to have to run it out. Nothing doing there. A 1-yard gain. Good bull rush by the Sun up front.
Good coverage by the Sun secondary as he had to pull that pass down and run with it. The Okanagan unfortunately lost contain, but Dan Gray just ran out of room to the sideline, so a good series for the Okanagan defense.
Windsor has had 3 possessions in this first quarter through 13 minutes. Twice they've gone 2-0. This is not what they've seen in conference play throughout the season in the Ontario Football League. And Stajic is on again to punt. This time he's going to station it at his own 32. Eckert and David again are the deep men for the Sun. David is to the right hash at the 20. Eckert at the 15. Good high end-over-end kick. David has it at the 26. This will be his 3rd return of the game, and he's raced down quickly. The big fella, Craig Carter, who's been silent on offense, makes it happen on special teams there.
Yeah, Craig's a 5th-year player, and this is his last kick at the can. And he promised to have something good happen for him as well today on the field. And that's a solid special teams play for a versatile player.
40 yards on the kick, 4 yards on the return. and they're going to start at the 28-yard line, and here's Craig Carter's pursuit.
Yeah, you see Stajic gets a nice high ball. It allows Carter to come down, slip inside, and clean his man up.
Aaron David and Jeremy White are stationed wide to the right side. The give is to Thorpe over the right side. He avoids a trip tackle and then pushes his way out to the 38-yard line. He may have fumbled and he's in, and the Fratmen have it. On his way down, Thorpe loses control, and it's the second turnover for the Sun offense.
Well, unfortunately, Thorpe there eluded the first tackle again, but was just hammered by the fill on here and fumbled the ball. You'll see here he breaks through the initial line of scrimmage, cuts back to the left. Does a good job of keeping his balance there. But the secondary comes up and fills and is able to pop that ball loose.
Looked like a hit by John Komsky, the big defensive end, coming back from his right end position.
So Komsky makes the big hit at the 40, and that's where AKO will have it,
and
is at the 40.
I'm not certain if that's Thorpe that's still down on the field.
Yeah, Thorpe's down on the field, and he is coming off injuries, right, Coach?
Yeah, he's had some troubles lately. They were hoping to get him 100% for this game here, and that'll be a big setback for the Okanagan Sun running game if he's not able to return.
We have 1:24 remaining in this first quarter. We're scoreless, and if the Sun offense loses that man right there you're looking at, Tim Thorpe, they'll have to go to another man who's been battling injuries all year, and that is 27, Dusty Carragata.
Yeah, Dusty Carragata, another running back, a young fellow. He's had a couple of weeks to rest his ankle, but Dusty close to being 90%.
Oh, there you see the replay again. It's just a great athletic play to keep his balance there, and unfortunately he's in a really exposed position as Komsky comes back and he takes a shot in the side of the head. I think he just got his bell rung. We'll see Thorpe again today before it's over.
Cunningham made the initial hit for the Fratmen defense. Carter is going to line up wide left at the right wide receiver position. Gray is under center. The pitch is to Speed on the left side. He's got room on the left side. He breaks the tackle at the 35 and finds his way across the 30 to the 28. High stepping and feeling good about that 12-yard gain.
And that's an example of the kind of player Terrence is. We'll see here on the replay. It's just a simple toss play to the left. He's got the big fullback leading for him. Okanagan does a pretty good job of pursuit. Number 59, the linebacker, keeps his feet, but it's right here that that little burst that Terrence possesses gets him past almost 3 players, and he gets ahead for the first down.
59 you're talking about is Brett Montague, a first-year starter, playing on instincts for the defensive line. Gray is under center. 1st and 10 following the Spina run. Give us to Matthews over the middle, not this time. Great pursuit and a great push up front again by the front 3, Montague, Howie, McKenzie, and Mark Ryan.
Yeah, Travis McKenzie does a good job there of staying at home, staying low. He's able to shake off the initial block and just looks for the running back to come up the hole and drops him there for no gain.
For Matthews, that's his 3rd carry in this first quarter. Unbelievable considering he only had 20 all year. So he's getting some looks early while they're moving Carter outside. Believe me, while this game goes on, Carter will be seen, Kane, do you think, at the tailback position sometime?
Oh, definitely. Craig will see the ball 15 times before it's over.
All right, in motion is Speed up behind Carter on the left side. Matthews again. This time over the left side, he doesn't have anything. Good pursuit by Ryan Sheeman behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be another 2-and-out situation, but they may be in field goal range, but now a late flag might put them out of field goal range.
Well, it looks like there's a fumble on the play, and I don't know what happened after that, but we'll listen and see.
Well, let me know when you're...
Well, officially, that will be the final play of the first quarter as Bruce Carter, the head official, and his crew discuss what happens here to close out this first quarter. It's scoreless here at Windsor Stadium, the 1999 Canadian Bowl, and here is Bruce Carter with the call.
Looks like objectionable conduct against the Frat could take them out of field goal range.
Civil conduct, number 67 Windsor, back 10, 3rd down, and change ends, gentlemen.
So the play closed itself out at the 27-yard line. That'll push it with the penalty back to the 37-yard line, in essence making it a 44-yard field goal. Quarter break, Dominic Papa has a report. Let's break it to him.
Thanks a lot, guys. Back down here on field level. An interesting first quarter from the standpoint that both teams on the offensive side didn't get the job done. It was definitely a defensive battle this first quarter. It'll be interesting to see if now Okanagan goes to their strength They tried to show a running game. AKO stopped them, obviously, and we'll see if they go to their strength with the passing game, which has been their strength all year long. As for the Fratmen, they'll continue to try to show a different type of offense, offensive passing, and also, of course, running. They want to mix it up, try to keep the Okanagan defense off balance. That was the game plan coming in for Coach Bloomfield. We'll see if they stick to that or perhaps just try to get Craig Carter going and get him some yards on the ground. Let's go back up to the booth and see what happens in the second quarter.
Thanks, Dominic. Well, Stagic's going to line it up for a punt here. Bloomfield's not going to chance a 44-yard field goal attempt. He has it at the 48. It's going to kick end over end. Not real good. Bounces at the 20. Chasing up there is Aaron David. Body surrounding the ball. And before Stagic can get to it, Aaron David's going to fall on it. And the reason I say that, Kane, is because Stagic recovered his own kick
in the OFC final.
Exactly. And Coach Bloomfield was talking about earlier this week that Stagic is a diamond in the rough at the punter position because he really doubles as a coverage man because he plays linebacker on defense.
Exactly. It's an advantage to have essentially a linebacker as was one of your extra guys. Usually you're giving a person up, but with Alex on that team, you don't. You can really play with 12.
So David fields the punt. There is no return, and the Sun offense is going to start 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. This is the worst starting position they've had as we start the second quarter. 14.5 remaining in the first half of a scoreless Canadian Bowl. Shotgun set for the first time, Silverman. 5 wide. He's going to go over the middle. He has Aaron David over the middle, and he has it at the 28-yard line for a first down. 13 yards on the pass.
Well, a great catch by Aaron David as Silverman was under pressure. We'll see on the replay here that Zach does a good job. He stays in the pocket, and he's able to find Aaron David for the first down.
Silverman getting off to a good start here. 3 for 4 early, 41 yards through the air. That's his second look to Aaron David at the wide receiver possession. Someone that's silent right now, keep an eye on him, is 78, Adam Eckert. He's split wide to the right now. They've got trips to the left. David and White are on the far sideline. He's going to drop back. He's going one-on-one. They're going to ISO Eckert, and Eckert makes the catch. Just as I say it, Eckert comes up big, over 20 yards on the game across midfield.
Well, Adam Eckert really showed some athletic ability as he jumped over the AKO corner for that first down, and a good drive here happening for the Okanagan Sun.
25 yards on the catch for Adam Eckert, one-on-one on the right side. And with it, the Sun get a first down. 2 plays, 2 first downs. They're moving the chains, and they're at the AKO 53-yard line. 13:49 remaining and counting down in this first half. We're scoreless at Windsor Stadium, 1999 Canadian Bowl. Silverman going to the air again. Dominic Papa talked about this. Hard hit, and Harris has the interception at the 38. He's tossing left and right. Eckert brings him down at the 40, and it's the 3rd turnover for the Sun.
That's another example of AKO pressure. Silverman took a shot as he released the ball, threw up a wounded quail, and Harris just picked up the gravy.
Here's a look, Kane. Break it down up front.
The Frat are bringing some perimeter pressure. You see the linebacker Steve Simic come from the outside, and it's Terrence Spina that lays the lick on him from the opposite side. And it's as a result, you saw the duck that went up. It's the sort of turnover that AKO needs after allowing the Sun to come out from deep in their own end to across midfield.
Anthony Harris made the pick. A big-time INT for Anthony Harris. In his 4th year, 3-time All-Conference, 2-time All-Canadian. Gray is under center. The give over the middle, and it's stuffed up quickly at the 50-yard line. Roan Jacobs with his first carry, and Kane, Coach Bloomfield talks about change of pace back. Maybe he wanted to change there.
I think he needs that with Roan. It gives him a different look. Roan's a different style of runner than Terrence. Unfortunately, right now, the O-line's not getting it done in the middle against the Sun D-line.
Make it 2 yards on the gain. It will be a 2nd and 8 situation for the Fratmen offense. Scoreless here in the first quarter, just under 13 minutes remaining. Harris is going to line up wide to the right side in the slot position. 10 yards, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. In motion is Tony Smith coming to the right. He's dropped back 10 yards. Carter is the fullback. Offside is the call. Gray has time. He's going to step it up on the left side. He's going to cut it back over the middle. Minimal yardage, about 6 on the play, but it would bring up a 3rd and 3, but we'll wait on the call. Guys, anything on the call there?
It looks like the Okanagan defense might have jumped offside there. We'll see if they were drawn. But it looks like that's the indication that it is offside for the Okanagan Sun, so a break for AKO.
That man there is Bruce Carter, head official for this national championship game. He's talking it over with the AKO offense.
Offside. Defense. Up 5. Second down, repeat it.
What was the number?
Did you get enough?
So Bloomfield takes the penalty, and rather than a 2nd and 8, it'll be a 2nd and a short 3 for the Fratmen right at midfield, dead center here, with 12:25 remaining in the first quarter. Still scoreless in this 1999 Canadian Bowl. Fratmen line rushes up to scrimmage. Gray is under center. Smith is in motion from right to left. Carter is the fullback to give us to the tailback. It's Ron Jacobs. Shifty on the outside, and he's leaning forward. He might have enough for the first down, depending on the spot.
He looks short, John.
Well, good job on the Okanagan Sun front four there of spreading that out and allowing the fill to come from behind quickly on his back was Ryan Sheeman, number 40. We wait for the measurement.
I think Windsor doesn't care about the measurement. It looks like Coach John Bloomfield is keeping his offense in here, and this will be their first gamble. It's going to be a 3rd and make it 1 at the Okanagan 53-yard line. Roan Jacobs at tailback has got both looks for the Fratmen during this possession. Rushing up to the line again. There's more pep in the O-line for head coach Padilla, that is offensive line coach Padilla. Gray is over center. Matthews is the fullback. Matthews is the man, and he's stuffed up, but I think he leaned forward to get enough. He may have leaned forward to get enough, Kane.
It's going to depend on the spot, but he needed all 265 pounds to lean forward on that play because the Sun did a good job of stuffing that up inside.
I'll tell you, if it's the near spot right now, he's not going to have it if it's the near spot.
This is one of those John Madden left foot, right foot situations.
The Okanagan doing a good job of staying low in the defense, but he got up in the air and went over top. But like you said, it's going to depend on the spot here, and
Go get it.
this could be a big decision for either team, one to keep the momentum going.
And they are going to bring out the sticks here to measure. I thought on leverage alone, he had enough to get over the defensive line and lean for the first down, but they're not spotting it that way. If he gets it, it won't be by much. And it wasn't by much. About half the length of the football, but it's a conversion nonetheless, and the drive stays alive. It's been on the ground. The Frat will have it now, 1st and 10 at the Sun 52-yard line.
I think what Coach Bloomfield was looking for there was to try and get something out of the turnover to make certain that they kept the drive going. And in a short yardage situation like that with a fullback as big as Lance, you're usually assured of getting it, but the Sun did a great job of stuffing it up inside.
Figure this one out. Lance Matthews, through a quarter and a half, has 5 carries. Craig Carter, 1. Carter is lined up in the fullback position. Jacobs again, the tailback. Play action to Jacobs. Good time for Gray, and he's going for it. Harris battling on the corner, and it's picked, but there is a flag.
That looks like defensive pass interference.
Strike the pick. Dax Olafson working with Anthony Harris on the right sideline at the 20-yard line, and Harris is down, calling for a trainer. And Bruce Carter is talking to his officials, and it is going to be pass interference and a first down for the Fratmen offense. They went for it. They drew the flag. They'll move it.
Well, I think what happened in that situation was the corner didn't realize that the ball was underthrown. He was beat deep by Harris, but didn't have
Pass interference.
come back.
26, defense. Up 15, first down.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. Dax Olafson guilty of the penalty. Harris is up, and he's all right. He's played a major role so far in the scoreless game with YINT, 1 interception, and now drawing that flag, which is going to give the Fratmen a 1st and 10 at the Okanagan. It seems to be the 37-yard line following the penalty, and I think it is.
The Okanagan defense got caught a little flat-footed there on first down, not expecting the pass. Dax Olafson trying to recover there and gets himself tied up with Harris and draws the flag.
Make it the 36. They're going to spot it just outside the 36-yard line, and that's where Windsor will start. Gray taking a long time to get the play in from the sideline right now, and they're having personnel problems as the play clock starts to run. They've done it with a different look offensively, both teams have, and Gray's going to be forced to call a timeout here. That's the second time they've burned it because they haven't had enough players on the field, King.
Yeah, I think what they were looking to do there was get Anthony back in the game, and there was some confusion. With him being down for that play, he has to come out. So the use of the timeout would allow him to get back into the game, but it seems like quite a shame to waste a timeout just to get one player back into a situation.
Well, that'll allow the Okanagan Sun defense to regroup, gives them a little bit of a rest here, because a very important drive with the score being 0-0. The Okanagan Sun has to hold Windsor here to turn the ball over and try and get something going the other way. So a little bit of a break. It allows Windsor to get the right people onto the field, and the Okanagan Sun defense a little chance to regroup and go ahead with the task upon them.
So the Fratmen open this drive, feeding off the Anthony Harris interception of Zach Silverman. And now, 3 first downs later, they've moved their way down to the 36-yard line of the Okanagan Sun with 10:48 remaining in a scoreless half in the 1999 Canadian Bowl from Windsor Stadium. Gray is under center. Spina is going to be the tailback. And Carter, again, will line up at the fullback position. Harris, 10 yards off the ball in the slot back to the right. Tony Smith is to the left. Give us to Carter. He's going to try to shift his way outside. He's being pursued heavily. He near miss, and then he's brought down. Make it just a 1-yard gain. Dax Olofsson making up for the flag, coming up out of the corner position and making the tackle.
Well, the Okanagan Sun string them out a little bit there. They lose contain, but unfortunately the outside linebacker and the middle linebacker and the halfback come up and fill and allow that to just be a short gain of about 3 yards.
Ball will be at the Okanagan 34. They gave him 3 on the game, so it's 2nd and 7. Carter, again the tailback. Spina, make it Spina the tailback, Carter the fullback. Play action pass. Took a long time to develop, but Gray has a lot of time, and he hits his man over the middle. Tony Smith is at the 15, leans forward to the 10-yard line. 24 yards on the Dan Gray completion.
And the Frat have gone to the play action pass, as we'll see here on the replay. After a couple of consecutive runs, they fake counter tray away. Gray holds the ball and manages to find Tony Smith coming across the middle, and he's all alone. Head for the first down, and they're within scoring range now.
Boy, was he ever all alone. Olofsson again on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line for Windsor. Pitches to Spina outside. The lead blocker is Carter, but he couldn't get the block on the big fellow coming up the middle, Darcy Littlewood.
Well, a good job by Darcy Littlewood to come up there and force that play. It'll be a loss. Darcy Littlewood just sprinted right out of the blocks there. He saw the play all the way, evaded the first tackler, and dropped him for a loss.
Littlewood knows how to break the line of scrimmage. He started today at the outside linebacker position, but midway through the season, he switched with Ryan Sheeman, the standout at middle linebacker. So he knows how to find his way to the ball, and he did it there to force a 3-yard loss. So make it 2nd and 13 at the Okanagan 14 for Windsor with 9:10 remaining in this half. It's scoreless here at Windsor Stadium. Play action pass. Gray is going to look left. Heavy pursuit, and down he goes at the 18-yard line. Dan Gray brought down by Brett Montague.
Well, a great play for Brent Montague as he comes around, evades the first would-be blocker, comes through. The Okanagan Sun defense all had their hands up, as you see, and forces Gray to bring the ball down. And good contain again. And you'll see here, they've got their hands up, they're coming, and Montague bringing them down, and a big play for the Okanagan Sun defense.
If Montague doesn't come up with a tackle, Okanagan's Travis McKenzie was right there to get the job done after beating Adam Appleyard up the middle, the Windsor center. So it becomes a 3rd and 16, and this will be Stagic's first field goal attempt, spotted at the 24-yard line. Alex Stajic, high snap. Quick hold down. Boy, he has plenty of leg on it, and it's good. Plenty of leg, and it's good. And with 8:34 remaining, we've broken the ice in the Canadian Bowl. Stajic from 24 yards out off the Anthony Harris turnover. 3-0 Windsor over Okanagan.
Well, it's results off a turnover, and that's what you've got to have happen if you're going to attempt to be in a game with a team of the caliber of the Sun.
And very much like a boxing match here, as both teams offensively continue to see what they can do well. Defense is coming up very big on both sides, but the Okanagan Sun, because of that turnover, see themselves down by 3 points.
The Sun will take possession.
So the Sun are going to defer on the kick, a common thing in CFL football, and they're going to take it at the 35-yard line, which is good starting position for this their first drive of the second quarter with 8:28 remaining in the half, and now they're trailing 3-0. Shotgun look for Zach Silverman. He's going to roll to the left. He's looking to pitch, and there's nothing there. He got the pitch off, and it's fumbled. One of the officials knocked over. That looks like it's Jack Schroeder. And a lot of confusion on this play. I don't know if they're going to call an incompletion, a fumble recovery. Guys, what do we have here? Look, what do we have?
Try and sort it out on the replay. He was trying to run a little shovel pass forward to the back, but it appeared he touched a knee down, and the play was whistled dead. Silverman touched a knee, and the play was whistled dead.
All right, so they're going to make it a 4-yard loss for Silverman. So it'll be 2nd and 14 at the 31. They're going to go trips to the left. Eckert, White, and John blocks them.
No.
A reserve fullback. And we're going to get illegal procedure here on the Sun offense.
Yeah, number 18, Jeremy White, a little anxious, and comes over the line of scrimmage well before the snap of the ball, and that'll be a big loss for the Okanagan Sun offenses. They're getting in a little bit of a hole here.
Yeah, so 2 plays, 1 penalty. Sack.
Number 18, backing it up 5.
It's going to be now a second and 19.
To the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line. Definitely not an area where head coach Lawrence Nagy may want to take a chance here, especially coming off the first score of the game. And that, of course, was Alex Stadjik's 24-yard field goal to give Windsor a 3-0 lead. 7.5 remaining. Silverman's going to drop back. Never mind conservative. It's going to go to White on the sideline, and he overshot him. White missed it at the 48-yard line. It was a little high. Not the best offensive set, and they're going to have to punt from deep.
Well, White was open there. Just Silverman put a little bit too much zip on that ball. It was a great pattern. He was wide open on the sideline there. Just again, Zach put a little bit too much spice on that ball, and goes incomplete, and the Sun will have to punt deep.
Yeah. Kevin Snell is going to be brought in again to punt, and he's going to field it at about his own 28-yard line. Make it actually, just drop it back deep and make it the 13-yard line. 3 men back. The deep men are Amlin and Harris at the AKO 50. Good snap. Thackeray has it. They get Thackeray on the punt. Good high end-over-end kick. Amlin has it. He fumbles at the 43. He picks it up, and then he breaks a couple tacklers and leads his way up to the 50-yard line. Again, good pursuit by the Sun special teams unit, and a limited return for Amlin. 7 yards.
Well, the Sun initially got down there and forced it, as you can see, but Amlin doing a good job of evading the first 2 tacklers. But quickly, luckily for the Sun, they fill up the hole fast. See a little bit of over pursuit there by number 72.
43 yards was the length of the kick by Corey Thackeray. 7 yards on the return for Amlin. He's had 3 shots at it, and in 3 returns, he only has 9 yards. Not his kind of day right now for the 3-time All-Canadian. Gray is under center at the AKO 49. 1st and 10 Fratmen. Play action pass. Looking on the left side, hitting the left side. It's Tony Smith out there. He breaks the tackle. He breaks it over in midfield, cuts it inside, and gets to the 49-yard line. Finally, Ryan Sheeman, the middle linebacker, got him. But Tony Smith broke 2 tackles, yards after the catch there, about 12, and it's a first down for Windsor at the Sun 50.
And we see Gray deliver the ball out into the flat, and Smith is a very small fellow, is also strong on his feet. He's got that low center of gravity, breaks a tackle, and he's able to get up and get a first down for AKO.
Corey May just a little bit over enthusiastic on that. Has to keep his feet to maintain that tackle.
Make it 11 yards on the completion for Gray, who is now 3 of 4 with 55 yards. Smith is in motion to the right. High pitch fake, give us to Carter over the middle, and he's stacked up quickly. Craig Carter is going to be held up for about a 2, maybe 3-yard gain at best.
Well, once again, number 59, Brent Montague, having a great game for a rookie in his first national championship, and he's playing just way, way over his ability here in this important game.
All right, we have 5:45 left. It's 3-0. We'll be back. You're watching Cogeco Cable Television.
Some people think that cystic fibrosis just makes it hard for kids to breathe. We could live with that. The truth is, CF is slowly shutting down my daughter's lungs and choking off her life. Imagine watching your child live like that and die like that. But today, Your help is leading to great discoveries and finally giving me real hope. Please don't let CF take Cassandra away from me. You can help keep us together for life.
Welcome back to Windsor Stadium. Terrence Spina rattled off a 9-yard run, and it's another first down. And here it is, a look at Terrence Spina's 9-yard run on the pitch play outside.
Terrence just basically gets outside of the contain. The fullback did a good job of cutting his man down and gave him some room.
So the Fratmen offense have moved the ball inside the 40. They're at the Okanagan Sun 38-yard line, 1st and 10. With 5 minutes remaining in this opening half, and Windsor leads Okanagan 3-0 on a 24-yard field goal by Alex Stajic. Give it to Spina on a counter play left side. He breaks it up the seams, outside the hash, cut back, and a late flag comes in, but not before Spina rattles off what seems to be a 12-yard run. Make it 17 yards on the carry.
Okay, he's done.
Flag pending, of course.
We'll have to see what the flag is.
The tackle there by number 25, the safety for the Okanagan Sun, basically saving the touchdown. Doug Hartle, good job of getting over there and bringing Spina down, and Spina's really lightening it up here in the last series.
Yeah, and Hartle makes things happen. He led the Okanagan Sun in turnovers. He had 6. 2 fumbles, 4 interceptions. And the ball is coming back here. Bruce Carter.
24 white before first down was made.
Well, a big break for the Okanagan Sun.
First down repeated.
Wow. Chris Gray called there for the flag.
Yeah, as we see on the replay, they're just running a little counter action, pulling a couple of linemen out in front. They get a good kick on the line of scrimmage. Spina gets his shoulders turned up, and Gray is actually well away from the play. Doesn't really affect it. Gets a little bit of a push in the back, and the Frat are backed up.
So make it a 1st and 20 after the personal foul penalty at the Okanagan 48. Give it to Carter up the middle, and he's got seat. He breaks 2 tackles, and they're in pursuit, and Carter is gone. 10-5, make it 6. Flag, Carter. Make it Spina. Spina, I saw the 1 on the jersey, and it's actually Terrence Spina on the goal. 48 yards. There are no flags. Spina or Carter. Nonetheless, it's a touchdown and a 9-0 Windsor lead. Convert pending.
It just gives you an example of what Terrence Spina can do. 1 play to change a ball game. He's an outstanding athlete.
The run was 48 yards for that man right there, Terrence Spina, who has 5 carries for 76 yards. Get this. Spina last night was up for Defensive Player of the Year in the nation. And he rattles off a 48-yard run. Kick is good by Stajic. 10-0. Windsor leads Okanagan with 4:32 remaining in the first half of this 1999 Canadian Bowl. Here's a look at it.
Well, AKO goes back to essentially exactly the same play. Terrence gets some daylight. The difference on this is he got his shoulders squared, gets a chance to get upfield, stumbles a little at around the 15 and takes it in.
Darcy Littlewood, wearing 45 for the Sun, was the last man that had a shot at Spina, but it was a limited one. Breaking away was Terrence at the 20. I called it initially as Carter. I only saw 1 on the far side, but it was Terrence Spina, who again has 76 yards on 5 carries, coming off of that 48-yard touchdown run. That's Adam Eckert and Aaron David, who are back to receive again for the 3rd time in this half, and now they're in on it, trailing 10-0 with 4.5 remaining in the half. 10 unanswered for the Fratmen in this 2nd quarter. They did it off an Anthony Harris turnover, an interception of Zach Silverman, and then a good drive, balancing the run with the pass. Spina closing it out from 48 yards out. That is Dan Hogan talking to Spina right there. Hogan takes care of the D-line. Squig kick, fielded upfield by Sheeman. At the 25, breaks the tackle and rumbles his way out to the 37-yard line is Ryan Sheeman, and that's where the Sun offense will start.
Well, important series here for the Okanagan Sun, trailing 10-0, 4:27 left to go in the half. I'm sure Coach Lawrence Nagy and offensive coordinator Jay Christensen would like to get something going, though. The offense definitely needs some momentum here.
Field reporter Dominic Papa talked about it at the break, how Okanagan was going to look to make a change. And they did coming out in the second quarter. They went to a shotgun look. They had a few good looks, but now, trailing 10-0, Silverman is going to come under center. That was the look we saw for most of the first quarter when it was scoreless. Give us to Thorpe over the right side, and he leans forward for about a 3-yard gain.
That looked like Trevor Bourne, number 29. He evaded the initial tackle at the line of scrimmage and just tried to jump over the top of the linebacker and lost his balance. So looks like about a gain of about 1.
Yeah, they're going to give him the lean. They'll give him 2 yards, and that's the second carry for Bourne. And he has 3 yards total. And again, another man down on the field. This time it's a Fratmen defender. Let's run a replay again, Paul.
Can't make out who the injured AKO player is at the moment. He's facing away from us. It appears to be one of the linebackers. That's Alex Stajic, who's also the kicker, so that could prove big.
Yeah, considering the fact that he turned the ankle over earlier this week in practice.
We see Alex was the one that blew that play up. He was blitzing on an inside blitz and took the fullback on low and appeared to get a knee.
He'll give him 3 on the lean officially, and it's a 2nd and 7. Eckert is split off to the left. David and White are to the right. Silverman straight drop back. Now he's going to roll right. He's got all kinds of room, but he's going to hit David at the 48-yard line, and it's going to be enough for the first down on forward progress. Big play for the Sun offense.
Well, the Okanagan receivers fortunately still able to get open. Zach getting some time by rolling out to his right, and good for the completion.
All right, Dominic Papa has a report. Let's go down to the field.
Thanks a lot, guys. Quickly down here at field level, Coach Bloomfield pulled his troops over to the sideline after the AKO touchdown, and he challenged them to keep competing, and he also warned them, alerted them to stay high, don't let the intensity down, stay strong. So he's got his troops fired up pretty good, and he doesn't want them to let down. Let's go back upstairs to the booth.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Certainly this is a critical time in the game with the Fratmen scoring 10 unanswered in this second quarter, and now the Sun trying to find their offensive rhythm, maybe answer back before the half closes out. There's 3:20 remaining, and Windsor leads Okanagan 10-0. And while Dominic was giving us that report, Silverman overshot Eckert at the Windsor 30-yard line, so it brings up a 2nd and 10 from the Okanagan 48-yard line. Eckert is to the left. White is stationed 10 yards off the ball at the Okanagan 40. He's in the slot back position to the left. Aaron David is to the right. I think Spina jumped here, but there may have been a false start. Silverman trying to plead his case to head official Bruce Carter, but I don't think he's going to have it. This may be a 2nd and 15 situation. Maybe not. Encroachment. They're going to call Spina for the 2nd time in this half, coming up from his linebacker position to the defensive end position.
Well, I think the Okanagan got maybe a little lucky.
Number 1, defense, moving it up 5. 2nd down, repeat it.
The referees obviously didn't see it that way.
Yeah, Spina will do that. Bloomfield talked about moving him up to the defensive end position in 2nd and long situations. For the 2nd time he did that. For the 2nd time,
he's been offside.
Absolutely. 2 encroachments on Spina. So he's having a good game offensively, struggling a bit defensively. Zach Silverman, quick drop, quick hit. Eckert has it at the 45. He leans over to the 43, and that's going to be good for about 16 yards and a first down for the Sun. They keep moving it when they have to. Now they're at the Windsor 46-yard line.
Well, and the pressure that came on Windsor's side was just intense there, as Silverman really had to get that ball away quickly.
It's a hurry-up look now for Lawrence Nagy as they're battling time with 2:45 left. 1st and 10 at the Windsor 43. White is in motion to the left. Silverman's looking at him. White cooked it up off a curl, and a great leaning catch for Jeremy White inside the 10.
Number 18, Jeremy White with a diving catch. A great catch, and hopefully it keeps it going as there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and the flag is going to be roughing the passer. Silverman took a hit at the 45.
Okay, unnecessary roughness. Number 35, White, moving it up half the distance. 1st down.
So the Okanagan Sun doing what they want to do here when they're closing out the first half. They're moving the ball deep inside Windsor's territory.
And they're moving it when they have to. After the penalty, mark it at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal to go for the Sun, trying to break through late in the first half, trailing 10-0. Split back set behind Silverman. 4 receivers are set split. To give us the board, and he's going to be stopped, making Amblin and Spina on the stop. A big-time loss of 8 yards to the 13.
Yeah, it looked like the Frat were blitzing the perimeter there. We'll see that on the replay. Okanagan's running toss out of a split set, and unfortunately for them, the Frat were bringing people from the outside, and Terrence Spina also came in from underneath, and big loss.
That was Bourne's 3rd carry, and because of the loss, he'll now have -5 yards rushing. There'll be a 2nd and goal situation at the 11-yard line. With 2:15 remaining in this first half, and Kevin Snell, the place kicker for the Sun, is loosening up right now, getting ready for a field goal try if the Sun can't convert here and punch it in from the 11-yard line.
Well, it looks like they might even be thinking about taking a timeout here. There's a little bit of confusion on the field. They're waiting for the call to come in from the sidelines. Zach Silverman's got it, and they're in the huddle.
Yeah, the officials had been adjusting the clock there as well. We see the side judge coming back. They put 7 or 8 seconds back on the clock.
Yeah, they move it from 2:15 to 2:24. It's on the countdown. Split back set. Silverman's going to drop. Mide rush is going to the corner. Eckert has it all alone. After White collided with Anthony Harris and Sean Amblin, Adam Eckert is left all alone in the corner, and it is a touchdown. No flag. Touchdown, Okanagan, and a big score.
Great play for the Okanagan Sun there as Silverman, once again, under intense pressure, got the ball away deep into the end zone to Adam Eckert, who jumps up for the catch. And a big play for the Okanagan Sun offense to bring it to 10-6.
Wow. What a drive. They opened it up at their own 38 yards. And then go.
Legal contact. 33 White is declined. Touchdown.
There was a flag on the play, but it doesn't matter. It was on Maha Atagwe for illegal contact. Obviously, that's declined. And now the Sun have a chance to close to within a 3 as Kevin Snell is in for the convert. So Silverman finds Eckert in the left corner of the end zone for the Sun's first score with 2:10 remaining in the first half. Silverman will hold and spot it at the 13, and it's good. So a big-time score. They needed it, and they got it. 10-7 Windsor with 2:10 remaining in the half.
Well, once again, the Okanagan Sun certainly showing some patience on offense, having to go with a couple plays here. We'll look at the replay. Silverman just on a straight drop back. You know, he's going deep, gets the ball up over the arms of the AKO defender. And a great catch in the end zone by number 78, Adam Eckert, with good coverage on the play also by Windsor.
Eckert and Jeremy White both made leaning catches during that drive that were big time to move the ball down the field. And of course, it closes out with that Adam Eckert touchdown catch from 11 yards out. Boy, it really seemed like White caused some commotion there, about 5 yards off to the left of Eckert, but there's no flag, and the officials were right there, so it's legit. It is a touchdown for the Sun, and they needed it big time. So the Frat return unit takes the field, and Snell is going to line it up at the 45-yard line for a kickoff here with 2:10 left in the opening half. And that Okanagan touchdown closes the Sun to within 3. 10-7. All the scoring coming in this second quarter. Snell lines it up. Amblin and Harris are the deep men at the 10. Kick is away, and Amblin's going to step up and take it. No doubt about it. This time at the 14. Fakes the reverse to Spina. He's got room on the left side. He's going to try to break it to the left sideline, and then he's finally brought down. But a good return out to the 36-yard line by Sean Amblin. A lot better there than he's been doing on punt returns. About 23 on the return there.
Now we see the replay as it comes down. Amblin fakes the reverse to Spina, keeps it, and heads up the right side. He's got a little bit of room. He gets a good block up front, slides by, and gets it out to the 36. So we'll see what kind of answer the Frat have for the Sun after the Sun counterpunch back to make it 10-7. It is kind of taking on the heavyweight fight type.
Well, we're in a game, gentlemen.
Yeah, the boys are pushing. 1st and 10 for the Fratmen, who'll try to answer late in this first half as it winds down. We're under 2 minutes. Gray is under center. He's going to give it on the left side to Zvetkovsky, who's going to gain about, well, they're only going to give him about maybe 2 yards. A slow developing play there, Kane. Drags Zvetkovsky, a receiver, on the carry.
Yeah, they tried to run a little end-around action, and both of the Sun linebackers stayed home perfectly, and they ate it up for no gain.
Ryan Sheeman coming through there with the tackle. Ryan Volk had them all lined up and was waiting there for him to come up, and Sheeman just came over from his middle linebacker position and put a big hit on him. Just showed you the athletic ability of the inside linebacker for the Okanagan Sun, number 40, Ryan Sheeman.
Well, how about this? Feeding off that touchdown drive, head coach Lawrence Nagy calls a timeout following the 1-yard gain by AKO, thinking that his offense can get it back and maybe get another score to tie or maybe lead at the half. So we'll see how this plays out. It's the first timeout used by the Sun, and they're using it at a timely stage, wanting to get the football back. And if they hold here on what is a 2nd and long situation, they will get the ball back, and pending a good return, because Aaron David has that capability back there, so does Eckert. They could get the ball near midfield and maybe make a push here for a tie at the half or maybe the lead. So head coach Lawrence Nagy showing a lot of confidence right now in his offense during the latter stages of this 2nd quarter.
Well, he's showing a lot of confidence in his game plan, and that is being able to pass and successfully to blend the blitzing of the AKO Fratmen, which we've seen throughout the first half.
So the Frat are going to line it up at the 37-yard line following the 2-yard carry by Drag Zvetkovsky. 2nd and 8 for the Fratmen. Gray is under center. Spina is the tailback. Carter is the fullback. Smith and Harris are lined up to the right. The pitch is to Spina on the left. This is where they scored earlier. Not this time, though. He's bottled up and dragged down in a hurry by Corey May.
Well, Corey May does a tremendous job of just stretching it out. Once again, the Okanagan Sun defense all day have been able to stretch out the running plays if they've been pitching left or right and waiting for the fill. And once again, a big important play for the Okanagan Sun defense.
Well, head coach Lawrence Nagy's strategy works here. He calls the timeout. His defense gets the stop, forces a 5-yard loss, and now Alex Stajic is going to be punting from about his own 15-yard line, 15-20, and Eckert and David are going to line up at the Okanagan 40-yard line. 1:40 and counting down remaining in the half. Kick is away by Stajic. Not much distance. Running up to it and fumbling right into the hands of Maha Otagwe, who could not recover. And actually, they are going to give it to him. They're going to say he had possession. Wow, Eckert fumbles at the 50 trying to catch it on the run, and Maha retains possession. And just like that, it's going to be the Fratmen, it seems, that'll have it at midfield. Let's take a look.
Well, you can see it's a tremendously high punt there. Gives lots of time to come under, and he's trying to field that. And again, there's no fair catch, so he's moving pretty fast. It just bounces off his shoulder pads, but great athletic ability by the AKO guy to recover that. Didn't look like it on the replay, however.
Make it David on the muffed kick rather than Adam Eckert. And you're right, it didn't look like Maha had any possession at all.
Canadian football, though, on balls out of bounds, last touch. So Otagwe being the last person to touch it, it's AKO football.
There you go, Kane. 1st and 10 for the Fratmen, just inside their own 55-yard line. Quick hitter out to Harris on the left side, and he's quickly pursued and dragged down by Ryan Folk, but not after a 4-yard gain. So with 1:25 remaining, it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Fratmen. I'll tell you, they get about 15 to 20. They have a shot at getting 3 with Alex Stajic.
Yeah, the timing of that play wasn't quite what you would like. Craig Carter was a little late getting out to the block, and as a result, they only get 4.
So it'll be a 2nd and 6 situation for the Fratmen offense at the Okanagan 53-yard line. To be in range, they need to get to about the, I'd say about the 35 of the Sun. So they're 18 yards shy right now of getting into field goal range. Gray is over center. Motion is to the left. Gray has it. He's looking left. He's going to try to hit Harris, and then it's picked. Hamlin never turned for it, and on the pick, Jared Hoover, the leader of the secondary, comes up with it on the right side, and the Sun are going to have it at their own 31.
Well, Jared Hoover, a former Regina Ram, used to big plays in big games, and he certainly comes up big here as he's got great coverage. He just steps up on that little bit of an underthrown ball for the interception, and again, a shift here in momentum before the halftime for the Okanagan Sun.
At halftime, of course, we're going to have Rob Bloomfield, offensive coordinator, Lawrence Nagy, the head coach of Okanagan, and Dominic Papa is going to have an interview with Ron White, the CJFL commissioner. Okanagan first down at their own 30-yard line. Men are in motion on both sides. Silverman's going to look to the right. He's got a man on the right, and it's complete. Jeff Sheehan with his first reception.
Well, a good play there, and Jeff Sheehan be able to come down with the ball. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock, and that'll keep the Okanagan Sun drive going.
Yeah, so they muffed the punt. turned it over for the 4th time, but they recover by forcing AKO's first turnover on the interception, and now they still have a shot to tie or lead heading into the half. They'll have to go 65 yards to get it done if they want to get into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10. I think it's going to be 1st and 10. I thought Sheeman had enough to get the first down. And they're going to measure, actually. They're going to measure the Sheeman reception to see if he, in fact, did get 10 yards to get the first down. All of the scoring in this 1999 Canadian Bowl has come in this second quarter.
I can't get it.
It opened up with an Alex Stajic 24-yard field goal to give the Fratmen a 3-0 lead. Then Spina broke loose for 48 yards on a touchdown over the left side of the line, and it was 10-0 Fratmen. But on the ensuing possession, the Okanagan Sun offense comes up big, and they close it out with a Zach Silverman to Adam Eckert touchdown pass from 11 yards out on a 2nd and goal situation in the left corner of the end zone, and that's where we stand right now. 10-7 Windsor over Okanagan. They'll give him the first down on the reception, so mark it at the Okanagan 41-yard line, just outside the 41. It'll be 1st and 10. Eckert will line up to the left side. Aaron David is wide right. In motion is Jeremy White on the left side. The backs are split and they're in motion. Quick hitter. Eckert has it on the left sideline. It's going to break to the left sideline, and Amlin came up from his corner position to drag down Adam Eckert after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, that play was well set up by the Sun. They had the little quick wide receiver screen, same play that the Frat had run on their last possession, and Amlin burst it in from the inside to break it up.
Hurry up look. Silverman is under center. 2nd and 7. Silverman is looking left. He has Eckert on the sideline, who makes the catch and holds on for a first down. Good concentration by Adam Eckert, who's getting a lot of looks on this drive. He was chased by Maha Tagwe, but not before he gets the first down, moving the ball out to the Okanagan 53-yard line, and the clock is counting down. We're at 42 seconds. Remember, the clock will stop with every spot of the ball. Quick drop again. 5 steps. He's looking for Jeremy White. He overshot him, but White may have come up with a great catch, and they're going to rule him out of bounds. So he came up with the catch, Darren, but they're going to call him out of bounds. Remember, only 1 foot. If we can get another look at that, let's see if, in fact, he did come up with the catch.
Well, a spectacular catch again by Jeremy White, as the Okanagan Sun are going with high percentage passes here at the 9 minutes of the first hand, but you can see a one-handed grab. He brings the ball in, but not able, the referee saying that he's out of bounds. It certainly looks close from that view.
Yeah, tough angle there. The ball may have hit the ground, but when he was down, he did have possession of the ball, and he's really showing a lot of ability to stretch out and make the big catch. Great lateral movement when he's airborne. Trips to the right. Silverman's going left. One-on-one with Eckert. It's Eckert on the left side, and it's broken up on the left side.
AKO looking for a little bit of a penalty there as Eckert
a little frustrated.
Yeah, threw down the AKO defender.
Ian Reeves was the man on the coverage on the one-on-one ISO. Silverman chasing down.
Yeah, as we see on the replay,
this drive, though,
Eckert throws his man down, but there was a flag on the play that resulted in a 5-yard penalty against AKO for offside.
Yeah, that's right. For the 3rd time in this half, the boys up front are called for encroachment, and because of that, the Okanagan Sun will now have a 2nd and 5 situation. The clock is at 29 seconds remaining. The ball is at the AKO 53-yard line. They need to get to the 48 to have a first down. Silverman is going to look to the right. He's going to roll right. He has room to run. Now he's being chased by Spina. Throws it on the rope, and not being able to come up with it is Jeff Sheeman. So incomplete, 3rd down.
Well, Sheeman was open there. Silverman on the run, just, didn't have much of a choice there, but Sheeman certainly had the chance there to come up with that ball and keep this drive going.
Silverman got him the ball. He was under pressure from, again, Terrence Spina, but delivered a good ball.
Yeah, Spina moved up to the defensive end position, came over from the right side, and chased Silverman down on the left to force the incompletion and the errant throw. Timeout for the Sun here, their 2nd of the half. We have 22 seconds remaining in this first half of the 1999 Canadian Bowl. And Windsor holding on, and I stress holding on to a 10-7 lead in the final minute of this first half. They opened it up quick, for those of you joining us now, with a 10-0 lead in this second quarter after a scoreless first. Spina, the key man on that scoring drive, 48-yard touchdown run. Stajic added a 24-yard field goal. And following the Spina run, the Sun moved it down 72 yards, and Silverman closed it out. going 11 yards on a 2nd and goal to Adam Eckert in the left corner of the end zone. Now, that's where we're left. 22 seconds left. Windsor leads Okanagan 10-7. And this is a 3rd and 5. They're lining up as if they're going to go for it. We'll see if it's a cadence call or if it in fact is a play. Silverman is under center, and they're going to go for it. He's got Eckert, and Eckert has the first down at the 40, cuts up over the middle, 2 defenders fall, and Eckert leans over and finally brought down by Amblin at the 32. A lot of guts by offensive coordinator Jay Christensen and head coach Lawrence Nagy, and wanting to tie this game before the half closes out. There's 16 seconds left following that completion and first down.
Well, surprising call, and I think he caught AKO maybe sleeping a little bit there, confused with the play.
Eckert had all kinds of room on the left sideline and broke it for 12 yards after the catch. Silverman drops back. He's going to go over the right side. White's working with Maha Tagwe, and there is no flag. There was contact at the 5, but no flag, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the Windsor 31-yard line with 7 seconds remaining.
AKO brought the blitz again. Silverman was under great pressure, had to deliver the ball a little earlier. He might have had a chance to see the receiver break free.
Now, if you're thinking field goal for the Sun offense, Snell's range is 37, according to head coach Lawrence Nagy. His long is 41, and with 7 seconds remaining, they are going to try for the 3 and the tie at the half. Snell has come onto the field. Now, remember, key note here, Silverman is the holder. That is a big-time note because he can always break it out and look downfield if he wanted to. Kevin Snell, wearing 19 for the Okanagan Sun, will line it up at the 40. His long, remember, is 41 on the season. Good snap, good hold. Kick is not going to make it. He's going to fall about 5 yards short and have not enough height. Amblin thought about taking the single, and then knowing how much time was left in the half, he broke it out of the end zone to the 5-yard line, and that's going to close it out. Good decision by Sean Amblin. Bad kick by Kevin Snell, and at the half, it's 10-7 Windsor.
Well, a great half of football for both teams. Not a whole lot of adjustments that I think either team's going to have to make. They're doing what they want to do well. They're going to both the coaches' game plan so far from what I can see. Turnovers have been a factor in a few of the scoring plays for both sides.
Yeah, Okanagan had 4 turnovers in the half. The Fratmen had 1. So it's 10-7. Windsor leads Okanagan at the half here at Windsor Stadium of the 1999 Canadian Bowl for the national championship.
I think what you'll find with AKO is that they're probably a bit disappointed in not being able to capitalize, but at the same time, early on, the Sun had a lot of success running with number 20, Tim Thorpe. He went down with an injury. Hopefully he'll be able to get back into the game. And, you know, for the Frat, it's a matter for them of tightening up some coverages. They've had good pressure, but they've had a lot of people open and loose in their secondary, as evidenced by Eckert being free a few times.
Yeah, one of the surprises of that first half was the Frat's inability, other than the Spina touchdown run, to really get a ground game going. I mean, I'm looking at the stats, and Craig Carter only had 4 carries, 10 yards. Spina was the big man, 5 carries, 76 yards. Matthews, who only had 20 carries all year, carried a quarter of that number in the first half. He had 5 carries, all of them up the gut in the middle. He had 15 yards, and Roan Jacobs had 3 carries, 2 yards. So they haven't been able to get it going. So when we return, Dominic Papa will be on the field with some halftime interviews. Ron White is one of those, and of course he is the CJFL commissioner. It's 10-7 at the half. You're watching the 1999 Canadian Bowl on Cogeco Cable Television. Half here of the 1999 Canadian Bowl. And the Windsor AKO Fratmen lead the Okanagan Sun 10-7. And we talked about the running game struggling. Well, Dominic Papa now is with Tom Adams, running back coach of the AKO Fratmen. Dominic, what do you have?
All you can say about that first half is, wow, what an outstanding football game we have going here at the Windsor Stadium. The Canadian Junior Championship on the line. Joining us right now, running back coach of the AKO Fratmen, Tom Adams. And Tommy, thanks for taking time to give us a couple of minutes here. Wow, what a first half. Quite impressive.
Quite impressive. Pretty well what we expected, that they'd be a little high coming out. They've been in this situation before, and they have something to prove as long as we do. We're a notoriously slow-starting team, so we kind of expected it, a little bit of nerves. But I think the third down stand in the early first quarter, I think, gave us some confidence. And since then, I think we moved the ball consistently a little bit better. We need a little more push on our offensive line. and we've got to sustain our blocks.
Certainly, Tommy, I look at this game watching the first half, and I see how both teams played out what we thought they would do. Of course, Okanagan came in, tried to run the ball at first, then they went to that passing attack. Of course, AKO really trying to mix it up with the run and pass. Are there going to be a lot of changes? Do you anticipate a lot of changes in the second?
Not really. Just biggest thing is sustaining our blocks. I think the plays are there. We got to get some better leads and holding our blocks. I think maybe a little more play action. They're really starting with their safeties to move up on our run. Hopefully we can put in a situation where they bite and set up a couple big plays for our soft play action.
I'm a little surprised, Tommy. I don't know if the AKO staff would be, but how well Okanagan's defense has played. I mean, we knew they were a good team, but I thought they really stuck the offense, held the offense in check pretty good.
Yeah, their defensive front four was fabulous in the first half. I think they're very quick off the ball. And a lot of it's experience. This is their third time in a row at a national championship game. And like us, they want to win the big title game.
Being the running back coach, I know you'd like to see Craig Carter a little more involved there. I mean, had a decent first half, but certainly AKO, if they're going to be victorious, got to have this guy going.
We're a four-quarter team. The emphasis of us is keep running the ball, and hopefully, because they're big hogs up front, we'll wear down their front 4 or 5. And that's why we have a lot of stable running backs, and hopefully we can get them all the ball.
Okay, we'll let you get in the locker room. Best of luck second half. Tommy Adams of the AKO Fratmen. I'm going to bring in the head coach of the Okanagan Sun now, and that's, of course, Lawrence Nagy. And Coach Nagy, thanks for a couple of minutes here. What an outstanding half of football. I know just being on the sideline here, it's hard not to get involved in this game, but give me your perspective on everything that happened in the first half.
Well, it's a real chess match out there. You know, we kind of anticipated what they would do, and they did that. We changed our stuff around, trying to establish a running game, and we did that too. But we had a few mistakes that we made, and we got to just tighten up and not turn the ball over, and just keep doing what we do right and what got us here. So that's what our game plan for the second half is.
Yeah, you lead me right into my next question, Coach Nagy. The game that you established, a lot of people were saying that Okanagan is going to try to get a little bit of a running game going so that they don't just have that one-dimensional offensive game, passing game for their offense. Were you satisfied with that?
Well, yeah, I was. And we were making some good gains on the ground, and we just fumbled the ball once. We had a couple turnovers, so we have to not go away from that. We got to still have that as part of our offensive package, but I think also we're going to start to see the ball in the air a little bit more now, and Zach's warmed up, and we kind of felt them out a bit now, and I think we can go to our regular game plan.
3 turnovers, I believe, your team committed in that first half. That had to worry you a little bit. How do you think the guys responded to the turnovers? And, of course, I know you're not going to want to see something like that here in the second half.
Oh, no, we're going to have to tighten things up. And, unfortunately, we have a young football team, and we have been guilty of having a few more turnovers than we really want. But our guys, they don't get down when that happens. And that's probably a good thing about having a few, last couple of games we've turned the ball over some. That's from, trying hard. The guys are running hard and trying to get that extra inch. And when you're doing that, sometimes the ball gets exposed and gets turned over.
Certainly on the flip side, though, on the positive side for your club, Coach Nagy, the turnovers didn't hurt the team. You're still in this one, 10-7.
That's right. The guys came back, we're kind of figuring things out. The offensive line started to pick up their blitzing defense, and they're sending everybody. So it's tough out there, and they just got to settle down. And it's good to not be out of it. And we're going to just keep doing the things that got us here and work hard at that.
Yeah, Coach, quarterback Silverman got the passing game going too. That's another positive thing. Even though you had to resort to it, it looked like you established somewhat of the passing game.
Oh, definitely, and it's not a matter of resorting to the passing game. That's our bread and butter. Yeah. And he can throw the ball, our receivers can catch the ball. We just thought that we wanted to catch him off guard with our running game, and we're not abandoning our running game, but look for the ball in the air a lot more in the second half.
Your defense was very impressive, the front four especially.
Oh, definitely. They had a couple runs that were, very long, but in general, our guys are stopping with the line of scrimmage pretty well, so we're really happy with that.
Okay, Coach, so let's get in the locker room. Best of luck second half.
Thank you.
Head Coach Lawrence Nagy of the Okanagan Sun. A tremendous half of football here at the Windsor Stadium. If you're just tuning in, you want to stay tuned. It's going to be an outstanding half of football for the Canadian Championship in the second half. We're going to take a quick time out here at the Windsor Stadium. When we come back, we'll talk to the Commissioner of the Canadian Junior Football League, Ron White. We'll have that for you right after these words. Halftime here, the Canadian Bowl on the line. The Windsor AKO Fratmen battling with the Okanagan Sun. It's been a heck of a game, and joining me right now during our halftime intermission is Ron White, the Commissioner of the Canadian Junior Football League, all the way here from Richmond, BC. And welcome to our city, Commissioner White. And first, let me ask you about that first half. Pretty exciting football.
Very exciting football. I think that's what junior football is all about. We have our 2 best teams here just playing their heart out.
Yeah, no question about it. Talk to me about setting this game up, Commissioner White. What work is involved? How tough is it to put something like this together?
not easy. We had Steve Rycroft that chaired this whole thing. He's been working on it for months. We knew that the game would be played here in Ontario. We just didn't know where. But Steve has done a tremendous job in putting this whole thing together.
Of course, budget always comes into question, things like that, especially at this level of football. How tough is it for teams and for the leagues to financially pull all this thing together?
It's not easy. Travel is the biggest cost. We booked it early. We knew the game was going to be in Ontario, so we booked seats into Toronto and then go from there, and that way we saved money. And with the look of the crowd we have here today, not only are we going to probably break even, but we're going to make some money from this Canadian Bowl, as we have the last 2 years.
Certainly does say something for that. Coming into all of this season, I guess, looking at Canadian junior football on a whole, Commissioner White, what kind of shape is it in? I know, you know, out west it seems very strong, but when you get in these parts, there's a question mark.
I think things are starting to move in a very positive direction here in Ontario. They've had inquiries from Sarnia. They've had inquiries from the Sault Ste. Marie. We're hoping that London will be able to put it back together again, and if that happens, I think there'll be a strong league.
Yeah. How important is it to have the Ontario Conference involved in Canadian junior football?
We have to have Ontario involved. If we didn't, I just can't see how our league would survive.
Can the West survive on their own? You've got the 3 leagues out there basically that seem to do quite well.
They do well, but we have to have Ontario. We have to.
Reason being?
The reason being that I think from the standpoint of trying to market our league, you have to have Ontario and Quebec as part of the league.
What can you do to make it more attractive and get other cities or centers involved to help the game of junior football, especially in these parts? They must do it a little bit differently out in the western parts.
I don't know if it's any different. It takes a lot of volunteers working hard. It takes a lot of fundraising. I think you have to have the football core there in your high schools, your minor football that supports it to make it work, and it will.
How does it differ from out west and, say, Ontario? Is there a big difference how the leagues are operated out there, how maybe the teams are operated individually compared to the teams here in Ontario, or do you get them all under this umbrella and work the same way?
We're trying to get them all together, working together, and understanding just how they can work well to raise funds, as we say, to see the big picture.
Your biggest duty today will be to present the hardware, and certainly that has to be an honor in itself, but do you have any bias since you're from BC, I guess, or do you just hope the best team wins?
I can only hope the best team wins. I think whoever wins here today, junior football is going to be the better for it.
Yeah, no question about it. It's been an outstanding half. Commissioner White, again, we thank you for your time, and congratulations on an outstanding campaign and an outstanding game here this afternoon. And we look forward to bigger and brighter things for junior football in Canada.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Commissioner Ron White of the Canadian Junior Football League commenting on the status of junior football in our country. Hopefully here in Ontario we'll be able to survive, and perhaps with an AKO victory that might just happen. We're going to take a quick time out here at the Windsor Stadium. When we come back, we'll get set up for a second half action. The kickoff just a couple of minutes away. The AKO Fratmen leading the Okanagan Sun 10-7 at the half.
Welcome back to the 1999 Canadian Bowl. For the national championship, we're at the half, and Windsor leads Okanagan 10-7. Kane, Darren, let's talk about some of the things the coaches talked about at the break with Dominic Kane. We'll start with you and the running game that Tommy Adams addressed.
First thing first, the Frat have to do a much better job of getting the AKO or the Okanagan front 4 blocked. They're getting outplayed at the moment, and the other thing is they've got to, if they're going to run wide, establish the perimeter. They haven't been doing that.
All right, Darren, what about you and the Okanagan offense? They seem to find their rhythm during the latter minutes of that opening half.
Yeah, they had success in the passing game. I think that you'll see them go more to high percentage type passes. The receivers have been open, and fortunately for Zach Silverman, the O-line and the running backs have been doing a great job of picking up the AKO blitz.
Windsor leads 10-7 at the half. We'll break down the scoring for you. Nothing in the first half. Flat zeros across the board. In the second half, on a carryover drive following an Anthony Harris interception, Stajic converts from 24 yards out, and it's 3-0 Windsor with 8:42 remaining in the half. Then minutes later, Spina breaks the big one, 48 yards for the touchdown, and just like that, bingo bango, Windsor's up 10-0. Sun needing a possession, get a big possession, 72 yards out. Eckert on the reception of the Zach Silverman pass from 11 yards out on a 2nd and goal situation. That came with just under 3 minutes remaining in the half, 10-7, and more importantly, it was the first score against this Fratmen defense in over 9 quarters of football. They shut out Burlington 63-0 in the OFC final, and they closed out the regular season 56-0 at home against Hamilton. So a big-time score for the Okanagan Sun, cognitively, psychologically, in the sense that, hey, after a scoreless first quarter, we can break through on these guys. They can be scored against.
Well, the Okanagan Sun, exactly. They kind of did the chess match, as Lawrence said, or the boxing match, as I said. They kind of saw what they can do, and they know that they can pass against this AKO team. And again, they had success running it, but with the injury to Thorpe, I think you're going to see, like Lawrence said, a lot of passing in the second half.
Okanagan is going to be set to receive here as we get ready for the third quarter. Windsor, AKO Fratmen 10, Okanagan Sun 7, and Alex Stajic is going to line it up at the 45. The Fratmen deferred and wanted to play defense at the opening kickoff, and of course Okanagan elects to receive here to open up this second half. David is left hash, Adam Eckert is the right hash. The Sun will be moving left to right as we start the third quarter of this national championship game. Stajic lines it up, low leaning lining kick over David's head into the end zone. This could result in one, and it's gonna. David is eyeing up in return. He's thinking about taking it out, and Spina got him and chased him down in the end zone. I'm surprised that Aaron David even thought about taking it out, but he did, and Spina chased him down in the right corner, and just like that, the Frat have made this a 2-possession game. If you're thinking field goal, 11-7 AKO on the single, and here's another look at it.
Yeah, the line drive kick gets over his head, and on most circumstances, you'd think about just taking the knee immediately, but in a real tight 10-7 game, he perhaps had instructions to get it out. See Spina come through and make the 100-yard run down for the tackle, and another big play for Terrence Spina.
Coaches talked about Terrence Spina being a flyer, finding his way to the ball, and he certainly did on that kickoff coverage to get the single, and the Sun, not too bad off. They're going to start at the 35. They had 69 yards rushing, 127 passing in the first half. Straight set formation, play action. Silverman looking deep. He's being chased, and he's going to be brought down. A quarterback sack to open the second half. Steve Bridgman, the inside linebacker.
And it looks like Silverman was a little slow getting up there. We'll see the replay. AKO looks like they've switched to a 34 defense look. Bring the inside linebacker through the gap. Bridgman manages to push through. He's a big kid with good wheels. Silverman has to tuck it down with the hands up from John Comiskey, and it allows Bridgman to come through and clean up.
Bridgman had 23 tackles. That was a team high in '99. 2 fumbles, 1 interception. That INT was the only one by a linebacker at that position for the Fratmen in '99. Make it 8 yards on the loss. White may have stepped offside, and he did. This play is not going to count, and the Fratmen are going to defer because it's back-to-back sacks to open the second half. Wow. Alex Stajic from the linebacker position this time, getting to Silverman. That flag is going to be on Jeremy White, and it is. To be deferred.
Yeah, and as we saw in the replay, the 2 Frat linebackers coming through the inside clean again.
Procedure number 18, the Suns. It's declined. Clear down.
Bruce Carter with the official call. So two plays, 15 yards lost on 2 quarterback sacks. Not a good start for the Okanagan offense, and they'll have to punt from inside their own 20. Corey Thackeray is the man that'll line up at about the 5-yard line. Amlin is the lone setback to receive. He's at midfield, and he's calling for the ball. We're only a minute in here on kick. Amlin's going to have a chance to field off the bounce, and he's pushed back to his own 40. Good kick by Thackeray. Amlin couldn't get to it soon enough, and it goes out of bounds at the Windsor 47-yard line, and that's where the Fratmen offense will start. In the first half, AKO had 95 yards on the run. A bulk of that coming, of course, from Terrence Spina at the tailback position. He had 76. And they had 104 yards passing. A bit of a surprise because Gray doesn't put it up much during this 99 campaign, but he did in that first half. 6 penalties, though, 50 yards. That's a big number with the Fratmen offense, who will start from the 47-yard line, leading 11-7 with 13 minutes remaining in the third quarter of this 1999 Canadian Bowl. Harris is split off to the right side. Spina is in motion from the tailback position off to the left, and the give is up the middle, and Carter is off and running, right up the gut. Craig Carter for 15 yards to the Okanagan 48-yard line and a first down. Quick start for CC in the second half.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that on the replay here. It looks like the Frat just empty out the backfield except for Craig, bring the front side guard to kick out the end, number 59. Carter comes underneath it, gets his shoulder squared, and gets upfield for about 14, 15 yards. Solid run, good start for the second half for the AKO Fratmen.
Craig Carter only carried for 10 yards on 4 carries in the first half. He had 15 on that run. Now it's Spina to the left side, being pursued heavily and being dragged down by Mark Ryan.
Well, Mark Ryan doing a good job of getting off the ball there and into the backfield, and right away he was right in the face of Spina.
Mark Ryan is the defensive captain for the Okanagan Sun. Great speed, and he showed it there. A 4.6 40. It's not easy to run down Terrence Spina, but when you have a 4.6 40, you can get it done, and he showed us that there. The crowd starting to get involved here in the third quarter. Close to 4,000 in attendance today for this national championship game. Gray is over center. It's a first and 13. Gray is going to shoot it off to the left, and he short hopped it on the right side, incomplete. Tony Smith was there, but he couldn't get to it. And it's going to bring up a third down, guys. Are we at third down now?
Yes, we are.
All right, third down. Yeah, and it's going to be a punt situation as Stajic comes in. So field position for Coach Bloomfield. Got a couple good runs from Craig Carter. And now he's going to look to kick it away and let his defense try to take over this game. 11:45 remains in this third quarter. Windsor leads Okanagan 11-7. And Stajic is going to line it up at about his own 49-yard line with Eckert and David back deep inside the 10. It's a fake, and it's Carter over the middle. He's got to get to the 35, and he does. He breaks the tackle to the 30, and it's a first down. A big-time gamble for head coach John Bloomfield, and Craig Carter has rattled off 2 runs. One of them from the line of scrimmage, another one on a fake punt, and the Frat are set up with a 1st and 10 at the Okanagan 27.
Huge change of momentum for the Frat after failing off the drive. Coach Bloomfield decides to, play the card gambler, and it came through for him.
Corey Beeman's going to have to really get his defense up here. I know they're going to be tired. Hopefully they can do just what he wants them to do, bend and don't break.
Jacobs is now at the tailback position. Carter is the fullback. Carter has it right up the gut, dragging 3-4 tacklers down with him inside the 20 to the 19, finally making the stop. It seems as though it may have been Sandheim. No, not Sandheim on the stop. Maybe McKenzie, coach, on the stop. Was it McKenzie?
Looked like it.
So Travis McKenzie on the stop. 2 other Sun defenders were there to help out. And Carter, with his 3rd carry of this third quarter, now has 41 yards after only netting 10 in the opening half of football. We're under 11 minutes to go. Windsor has a 2nd and 2. 2nd and 4 make it at the 20-yard line of the Sun. Split back formation. Now Carter is the lone setback. This time he's going to go off inside to the right side. He breaks 2 tackles. He breaks it off to the left. And before making it to the corner of the end zone, he's dragged down by Doug Hartle. A touchdown saving tackle. But Carter is going to bust it for about another 12 yards and a first down inside the 10-yard line.
Get a look at that on the replay here. See Craig, it's just a straight man block play up into the inside, gets his shoulder squared, runs the ball, runs someone over, and as a 5th-year guy, Craig's really the only player on the AKO team that predates John Bloomfield's arrival here, and he's a special guy for John.
1st and goal for the Fratmen at the Okanagan 7, looking to stretch their lead. Jacobs is in motion. Carter on the left side. This time he's met up and stacked up quickly. Corey May, the safety, coming up to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. A big stop forcing down the 2nd and goal.
Well, a big play here for the Okanagan Sun defense as they get into the backfield and slow down this running game of the AKO Fratmen.
So Carter gets nothing on the carry. First time he's been slowed down in this third quarter, and it'll be a 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. Okanagan was faced with a 2nd and goal in the second quarter heading this way towards the north end zone, and they scored on a pass. This is going to be a pass too. Play action. All alone is Marchand. He eludes a tackle, leans over and dives into the end zone. Jeremy Marchand, with his 25th catch of the season, has a touchdown, and the Fratmen have upped the lead to 17-7.
That's a great job by Dan Gray on the play action. Finds his young tight end out in the flat off of a little delay, headed out into the open zone that got cleared out by the 2 receivers that had cleared the area out for him, and it was an easy pitch and catch for 6.
So Gray connects on a 2nd and goal situation with Jeremy Marchand, much like Silverman connected with Eckert towards the tail end of the second quarter in the same end zone, the north end zone, and Stajic converts. So the Fratmen have opened the first 5 minutes of this second half with a single and a touchdown. 8 unanswered, and it's 18-7 for Windsor with 9:28 remaining in the third quarter of this Canadian Bowl. Darren, talk to me.
Well, just some missed tackling on the part of the Okanagan Sun there, as Doug Hartle wasn't able, he was there, just wasn't able to come and wrap up as he left his feet. This has given AKO just what the Okanagan Sun doesn't want, besides the lead, is the big momentum, and that's a big part of this game.
They've come out big to open this third quarter.
And you can see how sometimes those gambles, they're going for it on the fake punt. It can either shoot you in the foot or open things up. So far for AKO, it's looked like a good thing.
No question, the fake punt to Carter was the biggest play of that drive.
That could turn out to be the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, it sure could. We'll mark it down. It came with 11:21 remaining in the third quarter. It could very well be the biggest play of the game. We'll see how the Sun react. Stajic with the kick. And it's going to roll out of bounds, and the Sun are going to have it at the 35. You're watching the 1999 Canadian Bowl. We're going to break away. Windsor leads Okanagan 18-7. Where the AKO Fratmen lead Okanagan 18-7. We've played 5.5 minutes in this third quarter. It was a 10-7 lead at the half. And right now, the Fratmen staff is tending to an injured player. We talked about this earlier during the break, and that is the fact that this is a similar situation now to what we faced midway through the second quarter, in which the Frat built a 10-point lead, make it 11 now because of the Spina single, but nonetheless, the offense has to react right now for Okanagan to stay in this game before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, Okanagan can't afford to be patient much longer. They need to get things rolling.
The man down was Ty Stisician, but he's all right now. He's a special teams player and a reserve safety. They give over the middle and stuffed up quickly for no gain. Spina came up to assist on the tackle. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Okanagan is opening it up at their own 35, at their own 40-yard line, following Stagic's kick out of bounds. Hurry up offense for head coach Lawrence Nagy and the Sun. Straight drop back. Silverman looking to the left side, and he's got Eckert at the left side at the 50. He may be, though, dragged just short of a first down, depending on the spot.
Well, Silverman throwing into coverage there, and again, terrific athletic ability with Eckert to just out-jump the defender and come down with the ball, but it looks like he might be a little short of the first down.
Let's wait until they punt, because there's more time in between.
Oh, it appears that they are giving them the spots. First down. The Sun continue to go with the hurry-up.
So Eckert continues to make big catches for the Sun offense, while all-conference Jeremy White has remained rather silent through a half of football. The give is over the middle, and Bourne leans forward for about a 4-yard gain.
Well, Okanagan trying to establish a little bit of a running game here just to keep the AKO defense at home a little bit and maybe get some jump on any passing attempt that they might try.
Silverman is over center. This is a 2nd and 7 situation. He's rolling right. He's got lots of time. And looking right, he's got Aaron David at the 45. He cuts inside to the 40 and finally brought down at the 35-yard line. A 20-plus gain for the Sun, and they're answering like we said they needed to. Dominic Papa is on the field right now. Let's go to Dominic.
Well, this is what it's all about, guys. The Armadale Cup presented to the Canadian Bowl Championship team. Just to tell you how much the West has dominated in the last 10 years, only one Ontario squad has won it, and that was the Ottawa Sooners winning it 1 year out of the last 10, representing Ontario. And of course, Ottawa not even playing in the league anymore. So the Windsor AKO Fratmen are hoping this afternoon to change all of that and bring this trophy back to Ontario. Let's go back up to the booth.
Well, it looked like Aaron David hurt on that play. He was wide open, brought down from behind, but it looked like he might have rolled over on his ankle as he's being attended to onto the field. Aaron David, a tough customer. Looks like he's up and okay, and we definitely need to see him back in the game if the Okanagan is going to continue with their deep threat.
Now, 27 yards for David on the reception, and we'll look at the tail end of this play here and see if he did in fact roll over that ankle.
You can see Aaron David, lots of room there. He turns around, he's going to start heading for the end zone, and gets picked up from behind there. That's number 32. Just looks like he just rolled over on his leg.
27 yards on the gain, and Silverman is back at it again. He rolls left but comes back right, and he has it complete to Bourne, who breaks it inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Talk about resiliency. The offense is answering again. They're moving it down the field just when they need a score, and they've done it in just a minute and a half as we're just under 8 minutes remaining, and they're threatening to close in on this 11-point lead.
And a good time to call that on the offensive side, as they haven't seen that at all. And Bourne keeps that ball moving, and AKO looks like they need a timeout here, and the Okanagan Sun threatening to score.
Silverman threaded that ball in nicely. It brought Bourne across the formation underneath the linebackers, and it was dangerous because he threw across his body, but he just managed to get it past the defender, and Bourne was able to turn it up and get a good gain to the outside.
And Darren, just like you alluded to, Fratman defense is a little bit rattled right now. They're seeing a lot of different looks, a little hit inside, a little pass outside. They've moved the ball down effectively from the 40. They're feeding off that 27-yard gain to David, who's now back in the game, so he doesn't have a serious injury to speak of. But Darren, you've been out west. You're stationed there with the Okanagan Sun football program. You've been telling me the last 2 days, this is nothing new. This is a come-from-behind team, so there's no nerves here settling in, is there?
No, I think the Okanagan Sun doesn't want to be in this situation, but I think they're very confident that with this offense, they can still come back.
We're currently at Windsor Stadium, and you're watching the 1999 Canadian Bowl for the National Championship live on Cogeco Cable Sports. I'm Frank Graziano. Joining me in the booth is Kane Carter, the Windsor analyst, and Darren Prowse, the Okanagan analyst. 7:47 remains in this third quarter, and the Sun, needing to score, are threatening to score inside the 20. 1st and 10. Silverman, straight drop back, no rush. White is there for the touchdown, and he's got it. Jeremy White runs over into the right corner of the end zone, and just like that, an 11-point lead.
Well,
it's a 5-point lead.
A greatly executed play by the Okanagan Sun offense there as Silverman just drops back into the pocket. He's got good protection. They pick up the blitz. And in the end zone, another great catch by that inside receiver, number 18, Jeremy White.
Yeah, and for him, with that catch, he sets another record. 14 on the season, make it 15 for Jeremy White on the touchdown. And hey, Jay Christensen, the offensive coordinator, a little mixed feelings here maybe on that touchdown catch, because with everyone he catches, he's breaking Christensen's old record of 12. He has 15. They're going for the 2 to close within 3. Quick hitter outside, and they got it. Thorpe has the reception in the corner of the end zone. Amlin was chasing Silverman in the backfield, but make it a no-go. It's a 2-point convert. They get 8 out of the deal and close to within 18 to 15. Let's get a look here at the Jeremy White touchdown that set this whole thing up and has made this national championship a game again.
Well, you can see the blocking works there for the Okanagan Sun this time. White just beats the coverage, and it's up there, and a good pass by Silverman, good reception by White, and then the Okanagan Sun proceeds to go for the two-point conversion to make this an 18-15 game.
Maha Tagwe was the Fratman defender beat there on coverage in the right corner of the end zone. Now the coaches talk about him being the fastest player on the team. It was just a flat-out beating off the line of scrimmage there for Maha. It's not about speed when White puts the inside-outside move there and has time for Silverman to lay it up under him. So with the 8 points, just like that, the Okanagan Sun are back in it with 7:42 remaining after having trailed 18-7, make it 18-15. As Snell gets ready to kick it off from his own 45. Short kick, fielded up front at the 25, over the middle to the 30, and quickly stacked down.
Now kick taken by number 44.
Looked like offensive lineman Ryan Strong in a little bit of an unfamiliar position.
Well, you know, that's a good way to keep it out of Amlin's hands, Spina's hands, or Harris's hands. You know, give up the 10, 15 yards field position, knowing you're going to kick it short, and you know, you avoid any chance of having it broken wide open. Not after a big score like the Sun just got. So that's where they'll mark it, at the 35-yard line. The Fratmen offense will start there on their first possession. They scored. We'll see what they can do now. Gray is over center. Carter, for the first time today, will be lining back at tailback. The front man will be Zvetkovsky, and the deep look is incomplete. That was Tony Smith on the right side. Working on Dax Olofsson, incomplete.
Well, we'll see the Okanagan safety a little bit late on getting over there and helping Dax. Maybe fooled that they still were in coverage, but luckily for the Okanagan Sun, that ball was overthrown because he was open.
You can see AKO once again not leaving any bullets in the holster or any bullets in the gun. They're going to fire them all off, trying to pitch pass, trying to catch the Sun napping.
Yeah, and how could they really? There's only about 21 minutes remaining for a national championship. Windsor leads 18-15, second and 10 from the 35. Quick hit. It's going to be a free play. It's going to be Carter running up the middle and edging left to the 41-yard line, but Bloomfield's going to take the penalty here, and it'll be probably a 2nd and 5 situation from the 40.
Yeah, it appeared that the Sun had jumped on that play.
And that is the indication by head official Bruce Carter. So the Fratmen will accept the penalty and nullify the 6-yard gain by Carter, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line. If the Fratmen convert, it's not a good time for a defensive penalty when you would have held them on a 2-and-out situation.
Second repeated.
Second and 5 Fratmen at their own 40-yard line. 6.5 remain in the third quarter. Windsor leads 18-15. Trips to the right. Give us to Carter, who's edging towards the right, but he's not going to have enough for the first down. He was stuffed up crossing the line of scrimmage at the 53, and there was a little activity afterwards, and there was a late flag coming in. We'll wait on the flag, and then we have Dominic Papa with a report on the sideline. Let's see what Bruce Carter has for the flag.
Conduct. Windsor backing it up 10, 3rd down.
Personal foul, Windsor. Strike it. We'll bring up a punt situation. Dominic, what do you have down on the sideline?
Thanks a lot, guys. Defensive coordinator John Zuquette of the AKO Fratmen pulling his defensive corps to the side here on the sideline on the bench, and very loud and vocal with them, telling the team, telling his group, I should say, to adapt and to improvise. He's telling his guys that Okanagan has now chosen not only to go with no huddle, but they're always passing the ball. They have to adapt and improvise and be ready for that and line up properly. So Coach Zuquette very vocal on the sideline here. Let's go back to the action.
Stadrik's kick is fielded by David at the 35, who cuts left, then heads it back right to the 43-yard line, and he's stank tackled there at the 43, and that's where the Sun offense will start. So a good defensive set for the Okanagan Sun.
Well, once again, yeah, the defense coming up very big for the Okanagan Sun, but it's the offense that's getting this game turned around with that no-huddle offense, and I think, as you alluded to, that it's giving the AKO defense some troubles.
Okanagan and their quarterback, Zach Silverman, will start from their own 42-yard line with 5:53 remaining in this third quarter on the heels of a touchdown drive that closed an 18-7 deficit to 18-15 following the 2-point conversion. Silverman to Thorpe. Silverman is going to drop back. It's strictly an air game now. Over the middle, and it's caught by Sheeman, and he's gang tackled by Spina at the 48-yard line. Actually, he was corralled by Spina, a solo tackle for Terrence at the 48-yard line, but a good 6-yard gain for the Sun offense.
Well, AKO coming on the blitz again, and Okanagan looking like they're trying to just dump the pass over the middle for that short gain and being successful there.
Hurry up offense again. Silverman over center. Quick hitter over the middle. He's got his man, and he's got the first down over midfield. Jeremy White, who's starting to play an active role in this third quarter with a national title on the line, makes his second catch of the half, and it's a first down just over midfield. And here comes that hurry up look again. Silverman calling the plays from the line of scrimmage. Bourne is the fullback, Thorpe is the tailback, but they're not going ground, not now. over the middle. It's going to be one-on-one. White battling with Maha, and there's nothing there. Ball falls short at the 20-yard line, and it will be a 2nd and 10.
Well, a good battle there between the defensive back and the Okanagan receiver with no flag on the play. The Okanagan trying maybe to go for too much here as they go out deep and back away from their high percentage passes.
Even off the incompletion, still no huddle. Rolling right is Silverman. He's looking right. He's got David pinned on the sideline. He's got all kinds of time, and he has a catch. He beat Amlin, got in behind him, and at the 38-yard line, Okanagan will have another first down, and they're driving to tie or maybe take their first lead of the game. They trail by as many as 10 and 11 at different stages of this championship game. Hurry up offense, 1st and 10 for the Sun at the 38. David is going to be split to the right side. Eckert is to the left. White is in motion to the left. 10 yards off the ball, he's making a run. And he's going to look left. This is over the middle and caught. Adam Eckert at the 25, cutting it up inside and breaking 2 tackles to lead his way forward to the 14-yard line.
Well, Okanagan being very successful here and getting the passes through and just eating up the AKO defensive backfield with a high percentage of completions here.
Hurry up, look again. David to the right. Eckert and White are to the left. Sheeman is also making a move to the right. Straight drop back, looking left, and going left to Adam Eckert, and almost a great catch over the shoulder. Eckert cut inside, the throw went outside.
Eckert almost made an outstanding over-the-shoulder catch on the lean back. The kid's just a phenomenal athlete.
And again, Silverman under tremendous pressure to get that ball away, but we'll see here on the replay, just overthrows the receiver. Eckert trying to make the adjustment on the ball and almost comes up with a catch, but unable to do so.
Boy, if he pulled that one off, that would be a great show of body balance right there. But he didn't, so it's an incompletion, and with 4:25 remaining, it's a 2nd and 10 at the Echo 15. Shotgun formation. Silverman has all kinds of time, and then he's got wide open Trevor Bourne in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, a great play by the Okanagan Sun there as Trevor Bourne just kind of sneaks out to the end zone. He's uncovered and wide open as Silverman fades out to his left, rolls out to his left, and sees Bourne right over there, just touches it over there, and Okanagan Sun are right back in the command of this game.
41 minutes into this national title game, the Okanagan Sun have taken their first lead, 21 to 18, on that touchdown pass of 15 yards from Zach Silverman to Trevor Bourne.
Looks like AKO's got a man down. Appears to be Terrence Spina over on the opposite hash mark.
I'll tell you right now, other than the 3-point deficit, if it is in fact Terrence Spina, and he is lost, if it's a serious injury and he is lost for the remainder of this game, that would be a lot bigger than them being down by 3 right now with just over 19 minutes left to play in this national title game.
Absolutely.
Here's a look at the touchdown pass. Silverman to Bourne.
You can see Silverman rolling out to his left, and you'll look at here, and in your screen, a wide open Trevor Bourne, and easy completion for the touchdown.
Bourne has been in big games before. He's a UBC transfer and was a part of the 1997 Vanier Cup team with the Thunderbirds. So he knows how to make a play in a big game situation, and he found his way open into the corner of the end zone. It is Spina, but he's running off on his own, so I'm sure he'll be back. Not a major loss for Spina.
Well, in a good series of calls by the Okanagan Sun offense there, they took advantage of what AKO would give them and proceeded to march it down to that field. And an important drive for the Okanagan Sun.
Snell is in to attempt the convert. It's placed at the 13, and it's good. So they get 7, and they lead 22-18 on Trevor Bourne's first touchdown catch of the 1999 season. What a time to get it done.
Well, exactly. Trevor Bourne coming off some injuries this year, but pretty close to 100% for this game. If he isn't physically, he certainly is mentally. And again, a good call by the Okanagan Sun offense. Trevor Bourne wide open in that end zone. All Zach had to do was get it, roll out to the left and get it to him, and he did.
So after trailing 18-7, when the Frat rattled off the first 8 points of this third quarter, they led 10-7 at the half. They have put up 15 straight to lead 22-18 with 4:16 remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, you can see head coach John Bloomfield following on the heels of defensive coordinator John Zuquette. They were complaining that they had a couple of guys tackled and held on that play where Silverman was allowed to escape. But if the referee doesn't call it, it didn't happen.
I'll tell you right now, I know what he's complaining about. It's about the center, the Okanagan Sun center, Rob Christie, dragging down the frat pursuer and giving Silverman the time to find Bourne in the corner of the end zone. Amlin has it. They're going to fake the reverse to Harris. Amlin's going to take it to 30. He fumbles, but there's nothing but Fratmen White there to recover, and that's Maha Atagwe, and that's where AKO will start. Breathing a big sigh of relief at their own 32-yard line. Here's a look at the fake and then the fumble.
Yeah, you see Amlin just brings the ball back and doesn't have it tucked away. It's loose, and it looks like Maha Atagwe and Ryan Strong both there to make the recovery. Saved AKO a turnover deep in their own end.
Number 12, Corey Weiss with the strip. Corey Weiss, a big special teams player for this Okanagan Sun team.
Gray will line up under center. Carter is the lone setback. The give is to Carter. He's going to fake right, cut it up over the left, and there's nothing doing. Maybe 3 yards at best. Ryan Sheeman was there to get the job done early.
Well, once again, Ryan Sheeman penetrating that line of scrimmage and getting right into the face of the running back. Maybe something that Windsor hasn't seen. The defense of the Okanagan Sun jumping off the ball and penetrating that line of scrimmage for AKO.
Windsor, second down and 12.
Making a loss of 2 on the carry for Carter, who now is lined up at fullbacks with Roan Jacobs at tailback. Motion is to the right. Gray is going to roll right. He's going to cut it upfield, and he has room to run. He's got to get to the 50 for the first down, and he will get to the 50, make it the 53-yard line. Finally dragging him down is Corey May, but not after Dan Gray pulled down a 15-yard run for a first down.
Gray just tucked it away. We'll see it on the replay here. He rolls out to his right. Craig Carter's blocking back for him. Doesn't find what he wants with good coverage in the Sun secondary. Cuts it back against the grain. Brings it up. The linebacker comes up to try and take him on. Danny beats him to the outside and then puts his head down and has a fairly good collision with the secondary man, number 21, Jared Hoover.
1st and 10, Windsor at their own 54. The give is up the middle, Carter on the left, and he drags the tackler forward close to a first down. May on the tackle, Corey May, at the Okanagan 46-yard line, and depending on the spot, it might be another first down carry for Craig Carter, who's had 3 of those already in this third quarter.
Oh, this is turning into quite the heavyweight fight, punch and counter punch back and forth.
They're going to mark him short. It'll be a 2nd and 1 on the carry.
Well, interesting. AKO certainly having success on the ground, and Okanagan in the air in this game all the way through, and we're seeing that the teams are going back to what's gotten them here.
Carter has carried 6 times in this third quarter for 58 yards. He only had 10 yards on 4 carries in the first half. He's lined up at the fullback. He has it, and he's stuffed up quickly. Wow. Sheeman was there to make the hit, and so was Corey Mayer coming out of the free safety position. We'll see where the spot is, and they are going to give him enough, though. He only needed 1. He got about 1.5, and it'll be a first down inside the 46-yard line. Windsor will have it 1st and 10 at the Okanagan 45, make it.
Well, AKO did a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and it looked like they got underneath the Okanagan Sun defensive line and were able to get that initial push to give AKO the first down.
We're winding down the final minutes of this third quarter, 1:40 remaining. Windsor trailing Okanagan 22-18 for the first time today. Give us to Roan Jacobs. He's a change of pace back, and he changes pace to break the line of scrimmage and get about 4 yards on the carry to the 41.
Well, good running by the back there, eluding the first set of tacklers. But again, Ryan Sheeman coming up from his linebacker spot and putting a devastating hit on him.
They're going to give him 5 yards on the carry, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 5 situation. Dan Gray, who just pulled off that 15-yard run, is not immune to big plays. He's a 2-time All-Canadian in 97 and 98. And of course, he was the all-time OFC QB efficiency rating record holder at 135-1 in 1998. So he's not immune to pulling off big plays. The handoff, though, here is to Craig Carter, who stuffed up quickly. Again, it's Sheeman on the tackle. He's been big in lining up with Carter during this drive, and that's going to fall well short of the first down. They'll be marked at the 40, and it will be a 3rd and about 5 situation. Make it 4. 3rd and 4 from the 38. If they're looking at a field goal, they're looking at 45. It is within the range of Alex Stajic, but he won't get a chance here. Trailing by 4, Windsor's going to go for the first down with 24 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter. Harris is going to line up wide right. Smith is in motion to the right. Carter is the fullback. And Jacobs, the tailback. Play action to Carter. They're going to go in the air. Gray's going to have to look to make something happen. He's going into the corner. He's got Martian there who's got the touchdown. Martian from 35 yards out. Doug Hartle had a beat on it. He couldn't get it. And Martian has his 2nd touchdown and 28th catch of the season. They talked about the tight end being big all week in practice, and he's big right now.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of credit to Dan Gray there. They went play action on 3rd and a relatively short situation. His initial receiver was caught up, and he just was patient. He looked like he could have ran for the first down, showed great patience, delivered a nice ball, put enough air on it, and found Marchand open.
35 yards officially on the touchdown catch. Dan Gray to Jeremy Marchand, his 2nd touchdown catch of this Canadian Bowl. Snap, hold, kick is good. So the Fratmen have recovered for the time being to regain the lead, 25-22. Here's another look at the touchdown pass in which Dan Gray had to buy time, and he did buy time to find Marchand.
The Fratco play action, and it's initially covered. He wanted Marchand all the way. He bought the time, slid to the outside. Marchand kept running his route and just past the outstretched hand of the defender, and he strolls into the end zone.
So for a game that saw no scoring in the first quarter, boy, have they opened it up in the 2nd quarter. 30 points combined, and we have 2 seconds left. So this kickoff will be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
You've got 2 great teams battling it out here this afternoon. I think both coaches and both teams knew it. It was just the rest of us that, from our respective sides, that thought the other one was that much better. And the players are certainly showing you that they have the drive and the talent to be #1 here. And it's going to be the last quarter that decides it.
That man right there, John Bloomfield, a backside look at him, has been in this kind of game before, so he knows about coming from behind. The Frat are looking for support, and now they're getting it from 4,000 strong. Stajic to kick on the final play of the 3rd quarter. On the ground, a roller to Eckert, who fields at the 12-yard line. He's going right to left. He breaks the tackle at 20, a flag's down, and he's dragged down at the 21-yard line. This thing is probably coming back. Alex Stajic, the place kicker, again, making the tackle. That's the 2nd time. He did it once on a punt, and now he does it on a kickoff. So what Bloomfield talked about earlier happened.
26 Brown backing it up, 10. First down.
Here's a look, and we'll see if we can get a look at the clip, which is going to back the Sun offense inside their own 15-yard line. Let's take a look here and see what we have when Eckert fields.
It's a low-line drive kick that Eckert manages to get a nice, good high bounce on. He's taken it to the left. The Sun looked like they had a return left. And we've got there, number 40 for the Sun. Looks like Ryan Sheeman.
So Sheeman, who was big during that offensive drive for the Fratmen and holding him at bay until the touchdown pass, containing Carter on the inside, is called for the penalty. And this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 at the 10 for the Sun. Drop back Silverman. They're still going to throw. He has to elude a rush. Now he squares up and shoots it over the middle, but it's incomplete. And as the ball falls to the ground, that will be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
And the one thing I noticed was the absence of Eckert on that play. He seemed to be on the sideline. I don't know if he was hurt on the return, but he wasn't out there for the Sun on that play.
Yeah, I think he was a little shaken up on that return, and we saw him slowly moving it to the sidelines. He was unassisted, so I think we will see him back this afternoon, just out for a quick breather.
So we've closed out 3/4 of the 1999 Canadian Bowl, and Windsor leads Okanagan 25-22 with 15 left to go to decide the national championship. We're coming off a third quarter in which we saw 2 lead changes and 30 points on the board.
Well, definitely some big momentum swings also there for both sides, but credit to both the coaching staffs. They're keeping both their teams focused at the job at hand.
And you've got to expect that to happen. I mean, this is the Suns' 3rd straight trip. AKO twice in the last 4, so they've both been here before and know what it's all about, know what it takes to win.
Yeah, if there was ever a defining moment in Canadian junior football, this is it, the 4th quarter. 2 teams battling to win a national championship that they've set their sights on for most of the 90s. Silverman drops back on a 2nd and 10. He's looking for David, and David couldn't corral it at the 35-yard line. It falls incomplete, and it's a punt situation, and a deep one from inside their own end zone to open this 4th quarter.
That was it.
Well, of course, Zach Silverman, even though he threw that incompletion, he hasn't been off many times this season. 154 for 249, 61% clip, over 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. 4 of those categories, he led the nation. But the punt here, as Corey Thackeray is in, to line it up just inside his own goal line, probably about 2 yards deep here. And the Fratmen are going to send 3 men back. Svetskovsky is at the 30, Harris is at the 40, and Amlin is at the 50. 10, 10, and 10 from the 30 to the 50. 3 men back. Good snap. Thackeray has time to get it away, end over end, and it's going to be Amlin fielding it at the 45. Is it Amlin time? He's got it at the 30, at the 25. Good run back, 25 yards, but there is a flag on the play, and likely this thing might come back. We'll wait on the call from head official Bruce Carter. Amlin tried to race down the sideline.
Yeah, we got a hold.
And that baby is coming back. It is a hold, and you're right.
Actually, I think they might have had a choice there. Right in the same area, you had a hold and a push from behind on the same, almost on the same 2 guys.
Legal use of the hands. Number 27, backing it up 10, first down.
So instead of having it at the 25, they're going to have it at the Okanagan 49. They lose 24 yards on that penalty, and here's a look at it. Kane, why don't you ISO here when we get close by to it, where the penalty occurred?
Actually, it comes off screen. There's a grab, and you can see the push as number 39 got shoved there. John Bloxon.
Gray is going to drop back to pass. 1st and 10 at the Okanagan 49, and he's going to be brought down. Wow. Heavy pursuit by Mark Ryan coming over from the left corner to bring down Gray, who leans forward, but it's still going to be about a 4-yard loss back to the 53-yard line.
Well, Mark coming from that outside rush there. Fortunately, there was, I'd call that a coverage sack, as Gray didn't have anybody to throw it to, and he brought it back down, and Ryan was right there for the sack.
Make it officially a loss of 3 on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 13 at the Okanagan 52-yard line. 13 minutes remain in this national championship game. Windsor leading Okanagan 25-22. Motion is to the right. That's Martian in motion. They give us to Carter over the middle, and he's got probably about 7 yards, but I think Martian's going to be called offside here. He may have leaned forward off the end position, and this would bring up a 2nd and long situation. It is, in fact, 77, Jeremy Martian, offside.
And once again, the tackle made by the middle linebacker, Ryan Sheeman, number 40, who's been all over there this afternoon.
That's decision time for the Sun because AKO came up short. They might want to force a punt. It looks like they're accepting the penalty, though. Oh, no, they're declining. Bringing up the 3rd down, forcing the punt.
Wow, good insight, Kane. We'll look at Carter's run, which is going to count, make it 7, but it's going to be a 2nd and a 3rd, rather, an 8 situation. Here it is right here. He's been able to hit the holes hard here in this 2nd half. He wasn't able to pull that off, but of course they've moved him from the slot to the tailback position, so he's getting a lot more looks like we thought he would at the half.
Yeah, they've managed to get him the ball from fullback, tailback, and the slots, variety of positions, but they come up short and force the punt, so we'll see what sort of counter-punch Okanagan has here now.
The ball is spotted at the Okanagan 44. Stajic will kick it from midfield. Not a good kick. Shanked it off to the right. He's going to get a good roll off it. Eckert's going to field it at the 18. He's going to try to reverse his field, but he can't. Shot down by Craig Carter at the 16-yard line, and that's where the Sun offense will take over, trailing 25-22 with 12:39 remaining in this game.
Well, the second half hasn't seen good field position for the Okanagan Sun at all. Starting off 1st and 10, they've always been pinned deep in their, well, probably from the 30 back. We've got an injury on the field. That's number 78 for the Okanagan Sun.
Yeah, Adam Eckert.
Eckert.
That's the second time he's been down in the second half.
Yeah, both returns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we got a minute here, Frank. I need to say hi to the fans of the Okanagan Sun listening to the simulcast at the Apple Bowl back in Kelowna. Hopefully they're enjoying this game as much as we are.
Of course, that simulcast is being brought to you via CKOV. That's right, 63 in Kelowna, BC, Kelowna Radio, and you can get it by logging on to www.cjfl.ca, the official website of the Canadian Junior Football League. Eckert is up for the second time in about 5 minutes. He's been down. He's up. He's making his own way off the field. And it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line with 12:39 remaining. Okanagan has to go the length of the field to tie or take the lead. Silverman under a heavy rush. He's hit hard. Sheeman can't come up with the catch. But wow, what a hickin' and a lickin' by the big fella up front.
Lance Matthews got all of Silverman. Wow.
Well, Silverman, to his credit, shakes it off and gets on his feet right away. You don't want to give that kind of psychological advantage to an AKO defense this late in the game.
Silverman's not big, but he's a tough customer.
Well, the good thing there is that he didn't throw the pick. When he got hit hard in the second quarter, Harris came up with an interception. There, he was able to just get rid of the ball and bring up this second down situation. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Okanagan from their own 16-yard line. We're in the 4th quarter with 12:15 remaining, and Windsor leads the Sun 25-22. Receivers in motion. Flag is down. Silverman is going to roll right, and he's going to be brought down again. And look out, it's the big 3-5, Lance Matthews.
But it looked like he might have been offside. That's how he got there.
Kane is calling the early jump for Lance Matthews, and we'll see, in fact, if he is right. No, they're going procedure the other way.
Wow. That's interesting.
Looked like Matthews was early.
He might be a little bit more quicker than you thought.
Could be.
He could be. Well, nonetheless, punting unit is going to come on. Penalty is declined. And again, for the second straight possession, the Sun are going to be punting out of the shadows of their own end zone.
Well, Okanagan needs to get out of this field position here. Looks like some confusion on the field of what's going on.
Yeah, it is offside. They've changed their mind after an officials conference. Oh, he just...
Bruce Carter, there we go. Bruce Carter, actually he's calling offsetting penalties. Bruce Carter very confused right now. He made the motion for illegal procedure, made the motion for encroachment. Bruce, what's it going to be? Give us something here with 11:59. Carter doesn't know what to call, and what they're going to do is call offsetting. 2nd and 10. He's going to say, let's just do it again. So Silverman lines up under center. After all that, it's 2nd and 10 and about 10 seconds off the clock. This time he has time. He rolls right. Spina is there. He throws it, and David is there with the catch at the 32-yard line. Good job by Aaron David to come back to the football on the hook pattern outside, and after all that, the drive stays alive.
Well, unbelievable. Aaron David able to come back on that ball and find some room against a tough AKO defensive secondary there, and like you said, that keeps the chains moving. We see on the replay here, Spencer has some time to throw. He rolls out to his right and he waits for David to make his cut. We're back to live.
And Silverman is run down. While we were showing you the replay, the Okanagan Sun decided to go with the hurry-up look again. It's been effective for him in the 3rd quarter. They put up 2 touchdowns, but that time Silverman is run down.
John Comiskey got him from behind.
Yeah, and it's a loss of 4 yards. So it'll be a 2nd and 14 for the Sun offense. David is split off to the right. Eckert and White are on to the left. Bourne is blocking. The look is going to be to Eckert on the right sideline, and he can't get to it. And there is no flag. No flag on the play. The coverage was by Ian Reeves, wearing 27 for the Fratmen. He never really turned to the ball. I thought there might have been a flag, but there is no flag, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 and a punt situation for the Sun. But it's not as bad as you might think, considering they don't have to kick it out of the shadows of their own end zone. They gained about 30 yards here and could play for field position in what is essentially a one-score game, a field goal game with 10:58 remaining.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep that in mind, that the Sun needs to get out of that hole that they're in. Any positive yardage that they got out of that drive helps them hopefully pin Windsor a little deeper, and you've got to respect that Windsor return game.
So Corey Thackeray,
the backup quarterback for Okanagan,
I'm guessing will be in to punt. Still no decisive look from the Okanagan huddle, and he is 34, Corey Thackeray, who averages 30 yards a kick. His long on the season is 56. He'll line it up here at the 13, and boy, could he match that long right now. Lots of time to get it off. He won't match the long, but he'll gain about 40 yards on it. Amblin has it at the 47. Cutting up the middle, nothing doing. Maybe about 5 yards on the return. Being raced down by Alan Bryce.
Well, a good job by the Okanagan punt team there. They were right down on the ball, and they needed to be on this play. They didn't want to see any kind of return by Amblin, and that'll start the ball off for AKO at midfield and give the Okanagan Sun defense some time to recover.
Pratt will start 1st and 10 at their own 53-yard line with 10:35 remaining in this 4th quarter of the national championship, and Windsor leads Okanagan 25-22. Gray is over center. Carter is the fullback. Carter has the ball over the left side, and he's stuffed up quickly. Nothing doing over the left side.
I think we've got a turnover.
And I think he may have fumbled. Carter doesn't even have the ball. And the Sun do.
Well, a great job there by Travis McKenzie going down low. We certainly didn't see the fumble. We'll look for it on the replay, but the Okanagan defensive lineman doing a good job of stuffing it, and we'll look on the replay hopefully to see where that ball popped out.
Yeah, let's get a look here. I thought Carter was dead for rights after a 2-yard gain, but he lost the football. There's Carter right there, and there's the strip right there. It looks like Brett Montague making another big play for the Sun defense. You talked about him earlier. And again, he's showing his presence.
Well, what a game for the rookie from Saskatchewan. Just having a tremendous game here in this final, and no time better for it than right now, as Brent Montague from his defensive end position is all over the field this afternoon.
The man down right now for the Fratmen.
It looks like Shane Sostonic.
Yeah, 3rd-year player and OFC All-Conference player in '99, wearing 67, Shane Sostonic. Just received note from the sideline. There's the man right there. Jonathan Spencer, the backup. Oh, that's Kevin Snell, actually.
The
Why
kicker.
would Kevin Snell be throwing the football right now, Darren?
No particular reason other than trying to keep warm, maybe. He's certainly not coming into the quarterback position.
But he's playing catch with Spencer.
Yeah, and hey, we know Spencer can come in. He pulled off the big one in the West semifinal, finding White in the end zone to beat Saskatoon. 18-50. Silverman under a heavy rush, and Silverman is down and out. And again, it's the big 3-5, Lance Matthews.
Lance Matthews just bull rushes straight upfield, overwhelms his man, and winds up forcing a 2nd and long situation, which is, the absolute thing you want after a turnover is a big defensive play.
You talk about bull rushing, and that's exactly what Bloomfield and the staff talked about. Dan Hogan said, this guy, I said, give me an analysis on Lance Matthews, and he said, bull rushing. And Kane, he obviously is, because you said the same thing, so he has that rep, and he's coming up big right now in this 4th quarter. 9.5 minutes remain. It's a 2nd and 16 for Okanagan from their own 47. Shotgun formation. Silverman has time. He's racing it to right on the sideline. It's almost picked. Maha Tagway had a beat on the ball, but he couldn't come up with it, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a punt situation for the Suns. So they couldn't get anything out of the turnover other than field possession, and that could be a big deal, but they'll have to punt right now. Here's a look.
Yeah, we get a look at the replay. They're collapsing the pocket inside. Silverman has to get rid of it a little early, and Atagwe has great coverage. He turns to the inside. He's got the inside position, but he just can't come up with it.
Well, the quarterback, the kicker that we alluded to was warming up. The backup quarterback for the Okanagan Sun, Johnny Spencer.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe the Okanagan Sun are going to be changing quarterbacks in the future.
Johnny Utah, if he gets in the game, I'll explain it to you. Thackeray is lined up at the 33-yard line. High snap, he corrals it. He's got time to get the kickoff, and actually, under the circumstances, it's a good kick. Hamlin's going to let it bounce. He fields it on the reverse at the 20, and then he races up the left sideline. Finds a seam, and he's finally dragged down at about the 33-yard line. Make it Colin Lenahan on the tackle, and Windsor will start from its own 32 with 8:46 remaining in the fourth quarter, leading 25-22 in this 1999 Canadian Bowl. Sean Hamlin, at 175-11, is a four-time all-conference player from 96 to 99. Three-time All-Canadian, and that record right there, 15 yards per return, was established in 1996. He's a deep threat that promised to break a big one, but he's been tightly closed in so far today. Gray has it, gives it to Spina over the left side, and Spina has a hole up to the 40, breaks the tackle, racing his way and pulling his way forward to the 48-yard line. It took four Sun defenders to finally bring him down. Terrence Spina.
Well, we talked about a change of pace, and it's a different look. Terrence has a different running style than Craig. He's got a little bit, he's a little shiftier. Craig's more of a power runner. We see him run a little counter action. He runs through the tackle of the halfback and basically take the whole linebacking core coming in good pursuit by the Sun to pick him up.
17 yards on the carry for Spina. It's a 1st and 10 at the 49 of Windsor. Give again is to Spina up the middle. This time he only has about 2 yards.
Well, good job by the Okanagan defense there, coming back after that run to stay at home, read their keys, and just keep that to a gain of about 2. Again, the Okanagan Sun defense is going to have to come up very big here in stopping this AKO offense. With 7:40 left to go in the game, it's time to dig deep.
So make it a 2nd and 6 following the Spina 4-yard run. Gray is under center. Carter is the fullback. Play action to Spina, and Gray has time, but now it's closed up quickly. Wow, nothing doing. Corey Thackeray.
Well, number 60, Travis McKenzie, initiates this and getting into the backfield really quick. And Gray didn't have much time to do anything out with that. And you'll see right here as number 60 gets off the ball very quick, takes that inside angle.
Yeah, there he
looks
is.
Up
right
for the
there.
run, and he's right in the face of Gray.
You got it, Darren. McKenzie initiates it. Thackeray closes the deal, and on the sack, Windsor is forced to punt. Stajic will line it up at his own 30-yard line.
Move the plays over.
Eckert and David. Eckert has it at the 35. Tries to get out to the left sideline, he can't, to the 39, and that's where the Sun offense will start with 6:37 remaining. Dominic Papa has a report for us on the sideline. Dominic, go ahead.
Coach Duquette of the AKO Fratmen, the defensive coordinator, really preaching to his guys, and he's changed the defense a little bit. I'm sure our analyst Kane Carter has picked it up already, but just to say he wants more pressure on the quarterback, which is happening, and it's causing all kinds of problems for Silverman. All the other coaches are just preaching countdown to a dream that'll last a lifetime, and that's what they're telling the guys. Stay tough and hang in there, and you'll have yourselves a Canadian championship. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty here on the sideline. Back up to the booth.
Thanks, Dominic. 1st and 10 at the 40. Silverman's going to give to Thorpe, who can't get outside, and he's stuffed up and probably dragged back for about a 2-yard loss. Spina was there. Amlin was there. So was Steve Simich.
Well, it's good to see Thorpe back in the game, first of all, for the Okanagan Sun. However, with 6 minutes left to go in the game, I don't think they're going to get any yardage on this running game. They're going to have to go back to the air.
We're under 6 minutes remaining, 25-22. Windsor leads Okanagan. 2nd and 10. Spina got a beat on the ball and knocked it down at the line of scrimmage, and it's 2-0 for the Sun offense.
Wow, great play by a great athlete again. Terrence Spina, they're riding his and Craig Carter's backs here late as we get further into the fourth quarter.
Guys, I think this is exactly the way it's playing out, the way we talked about earlier in the pregame. You got two football teams that are really good, that are evenly matched, that are going to go head-to-head for about 50 minutes. But then in those final 10 minutes, the players are going to make the plays to decide the national championship. And we saw Spina do that. We saw Silverman do that earlier when they needed scores twice. Thackeray is back to punt. It's a 3rd and 8 from the Okanagan 40. Thackeray is at the 25. Harrison, Atagwe, and Amlin are back inside the 30, and Maha has it at the 30. This will be his first return of the game, and he breaks a tackle at the 25, but now he's being corralled, and he breaks another one. Look out! He has the sideline, and he's finally raced down. Maha showing some resiliency, breaking a couple tackles until Dusty Karagata, the reserve tailback, finally got him at the 37-yard line. But Maha gained about 17 yards there on that return.
Absolutely, that might have been a game saver.
Yeah, instead of being pinned inside their 20, they have it at the 37 with 5:15 remaining in this fourth quarter of the 1999 Canadian Bowl.
And as
just over 5 minutes left for a national championship. Go ahead, Kane.
Oh, we saw in the replay that a couple of Suns had a shot at him, and it was Cartaga that made the great tackle to save the touchdown.
Gray is under center. Play action pass to Carter. They want to score. He's throwing the fade over the middle, and he has Ron Jenkins at the 50 to the 45. He eludes the tackler, reverses his field up inside, and he has it at the 36-yard line. Littlewood on the tackle, but not before Ron Jenkins can gain over 30 yards and a big-time first down for the Fratmen.
Wow, what a call. The Frat had been running the ball effectively the last 3 or 4 times. They throw the play-action pass, and we'll see it again here on replay. Jacobs, the tailback. They fake inside to Carter. Gray drops back. He sees some pressure. He had a man open over the middle, but he's patient. He waits, finds Roan Jacobs all alone on the sidelines. And a great job by number 35, Brian Folk, to come back for the tackle.
First and 10, Fratman at the Okanagan 35. Give us to Carter over the left side, and he pulls his way forward inside the 30 to the 28. A gain of about 7 on the play for Craig Carter, who has come alive in this second half. He now has carried for over 70 yards. Remember, he set a single season rushing record for the Fratman franchise, carrying for 1,139 yards this past season during the 99 campaign. They'll give him 6 officially on the carry, and we're inside 4 minutes left to play. 25-22, Windsor leads Okanagan, and a big-time second down play coming up here. Could be the difference between a touchdown and a field goal attempt. Gray is over center. Smith and Jacobs are in cross motion. Give us to Carter up the middle, and he broke a tackle, and he leads his way forward inside the 20-yard line. Make it the 15 to the 13, and Carter is up and feeling good right now about closing the deal on this national championship with 3:46 remaining. A touchdown would make it a 2-score game, a field goal, and the Okanagan offense can steal one late. We'll see how it plays out. Craig Carter, we talked about the rushing record. He was OFC Player of the Year and runner-up for All-Canadian Offensive Player of the Year. First and 10 for the Fratmen at the 13-yard line. Smith is in motion to the left. Carter is the lone setback, and again it's Carter up the middle, and Carter breaks the tackle, and Carter finds the end zone. 13 yards out. Craig Carter looks to the heavens, and he's thinking national title as the Fratmen go up 31-22.
Wow. You asked earlier, why wasn't Carter getting the ball? And I think you're seeing why now. After seeing a lot of Lance Matthews and a lot of Terrence Spina early on, Coach Bloomfield knows he's going to ride the guy that got him there. His 5th-year player takes him into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the first man out to greet his offensive unit, his offensive line coordinator, Padilla Quaz, Rothra, Sestonic, Appleyard, Strong, and Vivier with the push up front to give Carter the room to find his way inside the end zone. And Stajic is in for the kick. Fratman lead 31-22, making a 10-point lead, 32-22, following the Craig Carter touchdown from 13 yards out. That drive was all Craig Carter, other than a big catch. It was a big catch by Roan Jacobs, but it was all Craig Carter in his final year wanting this national title.
His last game, without a doubt. Wow. But if there's an offense that can come back, it's the Sun.
Hey, and Darren, you've let us know all week that they can come back. They've done it the last 4 games, and 3:28 is a world of time under Canadian rules. Here's a look at Carter's 13-yard run for a touchdown.
It's just straight man blocking up inside. They get a good get a good push on the linebacker, and Carter finds the seam, slides in behind his guard, and away we go.
Kyler Jukes, wearing 63, the defensive lineman for the Sun, had a beat on Carter, but he just couldn't react quickly before Carter found his way. And there is CC, a graduate of Catholic Central High School and a 5-year member of the Fratmen program. His first year was under Morency. The last 4 have been under Bloomfield. All of those years, they've been in the hunt for a national championship. And now they are 3 minutes and 28 seconds away from winning it for the first time since 1954. Wow, what a way to close out the decade if they can hold on. Stajic will line it up at the 45-yard line. 3:28 remains. Squig kick up the middle. David is racing to it. David has it on the run at the 35, and he's trip tackled out to the 38-yard line. So good field position for the Sun offense, who needs to score twice right now, trailing 32-22 with 3:25 remaining.
Well, the Okanagan Sun offense definitely in a do-or-die situation here, as we've got a player down, Aaron David, number 7. But the Okanagan offense, we'll see what we've got here. Definitely need to move the ball and show that they want this game. There's still lots of time left with 3:25 left to go.
Yeah, it's an eternity in Canadian football. It really is. You can see both teams with 3 possessions yet.
Yeah, it really is. Clock stops on seemingly everything that could ever happen in a football game. So 3:25 would be equivalent to about 6:50. We're going to break away and get right back to you. Fratmen are 3:25 from winning the national championship. They lead 32-22. You're watching the 1999 Canadian Bowl on Koji. Welcome back to Windsor Stadium. Silverman hit Bourne for an 8-yard gain here. And with 2:53 remaining, the ball is at the Okanagan 46-yard line. It's a 2nd and 2 situation. The 3-minute warning has been issued by head official Bruce Carter. Silverman on the fade. Eckert has it at midfield. He eludes a tackler, eludes a Togway at the 50, and he's making a run for the end zone. Amblin finally drags him down, not just yet, not until he gets to the 29-yard line. Adam Eckert, 17 yards after the catch.
Well, desperation there by Adam Eckert as he eludes the first tackler and does a great job of dragging Amblin all the way down with him. You thought he was down, and he was still pumping his legs, going for those extra yards. And that moves the chains deep into AKO territory, with the Okanagan Sun with one big play threatening.
Shotgun formation. Silverman now is going to step up under center. 1st and 10 at the 29. 2:29 remains. Rolling right is Silverman. He has all kinds of time, and he hits his receiver coming back to the ball. Aaron David is going to be marked for forward progress at the 21. Essentially, that would make it about a 7-yard gain, and there'll be a 2nd and long 3 situation with 2:21 remaining. Remember, the clock will stop on every stoppage until the ball is placed again. And down is David again following the reception. It's not David, actually. I apologize. David was on the reception, but the man down right now, trying to get a beat on him, but we can't get a number. There seems to be a lot of cramping going on, guys, right now in these final 5 minutes.
Well, these players are giving it all. There's no doubt about that. In this type of game, that's going to happen as it wears on. See on the replay, there's Silverman rolling out to find his receiver. Now, it's not that receiver that goes down. It's number 3 for the Okanagan Sun. That's Jeff Sheeman, the slot back. However, that'll give the Okanagan time to regroup and come up with some offensive strategy here, which they certainly need. Well, 2:21 left to go.
Well, they seem to be doing well on this drive. It seems like every time AKO punches it in for a touchdown, the Sun have been able to come downfield and have an answer. And if they score here, it's just a field goal game. And they have timeouts remaining, so they could get this thing done, essentially.
And I don't think anybody's left their seat yet.
Eckert is split wide to the left. White is the slot back to the left, 10 yards off the ball. The backs are set in motion on the line. It's a 5-receiver set. It's a fade to White in the corner of the end zone. He's got it, and then he drops it. What is the call here? He beat a Togway to it.
They're going to call it a completion.
Well, I don't understand this. White definitely had the catch. He never hit the ground. He never contacted the ground, and then he lost possession. He either breaks the plane and it's a touchdown, and John Zuquette is livid. That's the defensive coordinator right there for the AKO Fratmen, who is absolutely livid. And I have to agree with him in a sense that
I didn't see White hit the ground here. I just saw him catch the ball, make a move to the end zone at the 1, fumble, and then all of a sudden it's being marked down. Call it what you want. The bottom line is it goes down as a completion.
Maybe we can see that on the replay.
Yeah.
We can see here Silverman going. We can see the intended receiver, Jeremy White.
Here? What's the call? He either crosses, he lost it at the half-yard line, and they're marking him down. I mean,
They should really call that a fumble and a touchdown, if anything.
Well, they're going to have it at the half-yard line. Silverman looking for the sneak. Instead, he's going to play action pass it. He's got all kinds of room on the right side. It's Silverman and Spina, and Silverman leans forward for the touchdown. Spina could not get to him, and Zach Silverman has done it again.
Well, if Zach ever ran for his life, it was that moment right there. Zach seeing lots of open end zone available, being chased by Spina. And that was a foot race that took a long, long time to materialize for the Okanagan Sun. But they did exactly what they need. Silverman answers with a couple big plays, and we're right back in the game.
So that touchdown closes the Sun to within 4. It's 32-28 Windsor with 1:38 remaining in this national championship game. And Snell is in to attempt an all-important convert and make up for that single they gave up opening the third quarter. This would close it to within 3 with 1:38 left. Silverman is the holder. The Sun have played themselves into this national championship game again after trailing by 10 for the third time today. Snell's kick is good, and it's 32-29 with 1:38 remaining.
And we've got ourselves a game. The Sun right back in it. But once again, Coach Lawrence Nagy is going to have to count on his defense to come up really big here to stop AKO, who seem to have gotten track in the second half.
Silverman runs the play action to Thorpe. And then you're right, he's running for his life. Spina in heavy pursuit. Spina makes the shoestring tackle. And then Silverman crossing the goal line. He got the ball to cross that goal line. So that touchdown may be marred in hindsight to controversy because of what happened with White's reception. But I'm telling you something right now. Even if White's reception, okay, is ruled a fumble, they do recover it in the end zone for the touchdown.
Still a touchdown.
Anyway.
So
they're
anyways,
going to get the 7.
Yeah, if it had benefited anybody, it would have benefited AKO. It just took some time off the clock to come out with the 6 points.
You can say anything you want about White's catch. The bottom line is they were going to end up with 7 anyway, and they did. Here's White's catch again. Now, last time I checked,
he clearly has possession. He's stepping, fumbles, and recovers in the end zone.
And that should be a touchdown.
Exactly.
Last time I checked, you're not playing the national championship under touch football rules. And that's what that would have been right there. Onside kick, high and above. They have a beat on it, but Harris has it, and he's going to corral it at the 45-yard line. So they needed to get possession. They had all kinds of time to do it, but they couldn't come down with the kick, and AKO will have it at their own 45-yard line with 1:36 remaining, leading 32-29. It's simple here. It's academic. 2 and out. That's what Okanagan needs to get one more shot at getting 3.
Frat realize a first down wins the game.
Yeah, first down may actually win this thing right now.
2 would definitely salt it.
54 was the last year they won the national championship. 45 years is a long time to wait for 10 yards, which is what will get it done right now. Gray is over center. Carter is sure to get a look here at fullback. Ron Jacobs is the tailback. Instead, they're going to pitch to Jacobs, and they're going to run the reverse to Harris, who has all kinds of room on the right side, and he's going to lean it to the outside, and he's going to be stopped about 1 yard short up to the 54-yard line. Big time call by John Bloomfield. Wow. I don't get it.
Like we said, don't leave any guns in the don't leave any bullets in the gun.
No, absolutely not. And Harris, I think, did in fact get the first down. I think they're going to give it to him. If not, it'll bring up a key second and short situation, and it will. This will be second and about half a yard. Everything up front right now.
Well, Jared Hoover, number 21, that corner on the wide side for Okanagan, definitely saving the game there on that tackle.
There's a look at Anthony Harris, 5'11", 190. He's usually big with the catch. He hasn't been today. Carter over the right side. He's got it on the left side, actually. He breaks through tackle, and then Sheeman probably drags him down, and finally drags him down at the 37-yard line, but not after a gain of 22 yards and a first down for the Frat. So with 1:21 left, normally in an American game, it would be over. You take the knee now, and it's done. But in a Canadian game,
the Sun can still vie for a 2-and-out here and get the ball with under a minute left, about 45 seconds. That's one quick hitter to Jeremy White or Adam Eckert on the right or left sideline, and they've done that a couple times today.
So the Frat look to play keep away.
Yeah, Gray is under center. They need one more first down. Give us to Carter over the right side, and he's rumbling his way forward, but he stopped short this time. This is going to be big. It's going to be a 2nd and 4 situation. He only got 6 yards on the carry.
And Corey May with the big tackle there.
Looks like a timeout on the field.
Oh, absolutely. Okanagan's going to take the timeout right now. 1:16 remains in this 4th quarter. Windsor leads Okanagan 32-29. 3 times today, the Fratmen have led the Sun by double digits. And all 3 times, Silverman has been able to lead the Okanagan Sun offense back down the field for a touchdown to close them within 1 score. And that's where we're at right now. 32-29 Windsor. It will be a 2nd and 3 situation, and make that a long 3 because the ball is spotted at the 37-yard line, and they need to get just outside the 33-yard line for a first down. Can almost bank it's Carter time, but with Bloomfield as the head coach, you're just not sure. And of course, Rob is the offensive coordinator. So right now, those 2 brothers are talking about what they're going to exactly call here, but definitely keep it on the ground and keep that clock moving somewhat is what you'd have to imagine.
This is 2-down territory. You're not going to punt this ball away. You're not going to risk a bad snap, anything like that.
And you're not going to go for the field goal, Kate?
Nope.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 3 at the 37. Okanagan has 7 men up front, 3 in the box. Give us to Carter, who fumbles, and then he recovers to gain about 2 yards to the 35. And because he recovered, I think you're right, Kane. We might see a 3rd and 2 gamble here with 1:11 left. If he fumbles and gets stopped at the 37, 3rd and 4, you don't know.
Away.
Yeah, then you don't. But
here we got the replay.
Good balance by Carter to pick up the fumble and gain about 2 yards. There he is. Got the good hop back in him. Wow. Ready to jump all over it was Corey May, the safety, if Carter couldn't get the good bounce. But luckily for the Fratmen, he had it in his grasp right back into him.
Corey May stutters a little bit. I think he saw that ball pop out, and that caused him to think a little bit. Maybe he was going to go for the ball, but that ball, fortunately for Carter, bounced right back into his arms, and May had to adjust on the play and still make the tackle to keep him from making the first down. But getting fairly intense here in these last few seconds.
The other option is this is within Alex Stagic's extreme range.
Yeah, I don't know. I might punt it out of the end zone
and a single. Look for the single for
single
one.
Forces a touchdown. Yeah.
If you angle it, it's within his range to get to the corner.
Yeah.
Tough call.
All kinds.
Looks like they're going.
All kinds of options, but Bloomfield is going to keep the offense on the field. Spina is coming in with the play. So is Dan Gray. Roan Jacobs will be out. This will be essentially a 3rd and make it a short 3. It's about 2.5. The ball is spotted right now at the 36-yard line. They need to get just outside the 33. Gray over center. Carter is the tailback. Carter making the fullback. He switches to the fullback position. The give is to Spina. It's a play-action pass, and Martian has the reception at the 15-yard line with 1:04 left. Martian has been big time in this national championship game. 2 touchdown catches, and now a 3rd down conversion catch for the big 7-7 at tight end, Jeremy Martian.
Well, we've got the replay here. The whole world thinks this is a play into the line of scrimmage to try and eke out that first down. It's a great ball fake by Dan Gray.
Wow,
hides the ball on his hip, comes up, and Marchand's wide open.
Wide open.
First down.
The man in pursuit, he couldn't get it. First down, 48 seconds remain. Carter over the left side. This time he's stacked up quickly. Closing the deal is Corey May. There'll be a loss of 2 on the play, but right now yardage is not of concern for the Fratmen offense. Keeping ball possession and running that clock is. We're at 45 seconds remaining. The Sun have no timeouts left, and right now Windsor offense is going to milk this baby until the clock winds down. I think this thing's over. I think they snap here.
Yep.
They spot the ball. This thing is over. Gray is under center. They're not in a kneel-down formation. Looks like they're going to run the football, and they are. It's going to be Carter over the left side, and he leans forward to the 10-yard line, and with 22 seconds left, this thing is over. They're going to mark the ball, and Dan Gray is racing to Rob Bloomfield on the sideline. 54 years in waiting is 22 seconds shy now of realizing their dream and bringing the first national championship to the city of Windsor for the first time in 45 years. Clock is running. They don't even have to snap this thing. 16, 15, 14. It's 32-29.
Here comes the bucket.
Amblin is ready to lay down the raid on John Bloomfield. Amblin and Alex Stajic. This is it. Bedlam at Windsor Stadium. Clock is at 2, and a timeout is called by the Fratmen offense. So they will have to run one more play with 2 seconds remaining. They'll take the 5-yard penalty. They'll back them up to the 19-yard line. Gray is getting his play. Nothing but joy on the sideline. That is John Zuquette. And head coach John Bloomfield. Bloomfield talked earlier this week about dedicating this season to defensive coordinator John Zuquette in memory of his son Ryan, who was lost tragically to a motorcycle accident in the month of July this past summer. Ryan was a member of the junior Fratmen team and a close member of this Fratmen organization. John and the coaching staff and the players wanted to dedicate it to John Zuquette, and they have. So John Zuquette and the rest of the Fratmen, congratulations on the 1999 National Championship. Windsor wins it 32-29 over Okanagan.
Got a little extracurricular after the play, linebacker Ryan Sheeman.
Yeah, that'll happen. That's just emotion right now. When you play it this tight, that's emotion.
Yep. We got a good shot of Craig and his dad.
There's the difference right there. CC and his father playing a big role in this second half. 5 years in waiting for that man right there, Craig Carter. And now he's getting the love from head coach John Bloomfield. Carter with the game-winning touchdown on a 13-yard run late in this fourth quarter with 3:28 remaining. 32-29, Windsor beats Okanagan in the 1999 Canadian Bowl for the national championship.
And a great football game from start to finish.
One of the best I've seen.
Well, the Okanagan Sun traveled a long way. I think no one has to be ashamed. They met a formidable team in this Windsor AKO Fratmen. The running combination of Craig Carter, Lance Matthews, and Terrence Speednut was just too much for the Okanagan Sun. As we saw that through afternoon, they just kept banging away and banging away. And to AKO's credit, they played one heck of a game.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and they did seem to wear them out. In the fourth quarter, the Frat were able to run the ball a lot more effectively. Okanagan early on had really stifled the running game. Outside of that Spina 48-yard scamper, they'd shut it down pretty well, but it's a pretty big offensive line. Most of them averaging around 300 pounds, and they just kept wearing on them and wearing on them and wearing on them.
Yeah, and just incredible athletes, the tandem of running backs that AKO had, and they were able just to do a tremendous job, and they wore them right through to the end.
For the Fratmen in celebration right now, it's their third national championship. They won it first in 52, then they won it again in 54. And now, 45 years later, they have it locked down in 1999, their third national championship. We're going to stay with it and await the official presentation of the Canadian Bowl Trophy to the Windsor AKO Fratmen. Quick rundown of what happened here today. Scoreless first quarter. The Fratmen get it going early in the second quarter. Stajic opens it up with a field goal from 24 yards out. And then Spina rattles off a 48-yard run. And just like that, it's 10-0. Moments later, Silverman responds for a touchdown, make it 10-7. That was the score at the half. And then in the third quarter, everything broke loose. 30 points combined, 2 lead changes. And the Fratmen at one point trailed 22-18, but they led 25-22 heading into that fourth quarter. And Dominic Papa right now is down on the field in the middle of this bedlam with a national championship team. Go ahead, Dominic.
Probably very emotional, right, John? I know this means an awful lot to you, to the team. You put it in words quickly, John. How much?
Well, we're just happy that we're able to come out in the second half and stiffen up a little bit on defense and hold them. They're a great team. Their passing attack is very, very potent, and you know, what more can I say? We're national champions. I'm happy for AKO, for all of these kids, and for the city, for everybody. You know, it's a great experience, and it's hard to put into words.
You predicted before the game, John, that there would be a victory here tonight. Why so confident?
Well, I thought they were one-dimensional offense. They don't run the ball very well, but they have a very potent passing attack, and I thought if we could get out in front of them early, put some points up, and then they'd have to get into their passing attack, which they did, but they presented some problems to us with the no huddle. You know, and it was just adjustments that had to be made at halftime, but I figured that you know, if we could just sit on some of their passes, especially to the slots, we'd be okay.
No losses this year for this team, but a major loss for you and your son. You told me he's in the room, in the game with you. Tell me about it.
I could feel him all day. He was on my shoulder. He's always around me when I need him. I lost him this summer in a motorcycle accident, but this team has rallied around me. I've lost one son, but I've gained 50. So, just a tremendous feeling right now.
Go enjoy, John.
Thanks very much.
John. Hey, man.
Thanks, man. Good job. We adjust. Appreciate it.
We talked about that, the tragic loss of Ryan Zuquette, the son of John Zuquette, of John Zuquette. So, up this national championship, 32-29, and they win it with a little bit of both offense and defense. Primarily the play of Dan Gray, who hasn't been a major part of this offense, but he was today.
When it mattered, Danny made the big plays.
And he did. He found Jeremy Marchand for touchdowns twice, and then he led the offense down the field on the decisive touchdown drive in the final 5 minutes of this national championship game. Windsor beats Okanagan 32-29, and again, they win the national championship for the first time since 1954. I'd have to imagine that Marchand has a serious billing here for Offensive Player of the Game.
Yeah, I would think that Jeremy's the sort of player that's in his last year of high school. He's looking to use this as a springboard to a scholarship to a U.S. school.
Well, he's got something to feed off with this game tape. 2 touchdowns, a big catch on a third down conversion during that touchdown drive, which led the way for Carter. Darren, this Okanagan football team has had a great season. Lawrence Nagy returns for the first time since 1990 to be head coach, and he brings this team to the national championship in a season in which he thought he'd be about a 700 club. He rattles off an 11-2-1 record. We have a special presentations now going on, and we're going to go back down to the field with the presentation of the national championship trophy. That's a wide look at Windsor Stadium Field moments after this national championship game has concluded, and it's 32-29 the final for Windsor over AKO. Windsor over Okanagan.
No, we'll go with the outstanding players, we'll go with the outstanding defensive area.
What's your take on the Okanagan season?
Well, the Okanagan Sun certainly
First award for today's game goes to the outstanding defensive player. Is the Paul Kirk Memorial Trophy, and that goes to Windsor AKO Fratmen, number 35, Lance Matthews. Lance, come forward, collect your trophy there. Where's Lance? Over here. Lance Matthews, come to center field, please.
Danny, put it right in there. Where's Danny? Like, oh, it was a Danny. Danny,
Hey, where'd you get that trophy? the MVP offensively today goes to number 16, Dan Gray from the AKO Fratmen.
Okay, move back a little bit, everybody.
Okay, the next award. I need the Coach of the Year, John Bloomfield, to come
John, turn around, John. John, right here, right here. Here's the shirt.
Okay, now I need the captain for the Windsor AKO Fratmen to come forward. Craig Carter, Joe Hamlin, Anthony Harris. Don't forget the fifth quarterback in the AKO football.
This is obviously a big win. Your critics. No, but do you care? Not at all. There he is. Here, hold it.
Next mark, guys, field level again. Head coach John Bloomfield, and I don't know if this is all sunk in yet. John, you're enjoying this, and I don't blame you.
I don't want it to sink in. I want to keep
Tell me how leave the field. It's just incredible. I mean, for 4 years, this has been the goal. We've worked so hard towards it, and to finally meet it right now, there's just no words to express it. To do it here with so many people that we know and have been so good to us, a great crowd today. Our players all played. This is just the greatest thing I've ever experienced as a coach or an athlete in any realm of sports. One thing you seem to have done, John, is really create a family here, and I can't believe the passion among the coaches and the players and the communication level. How important was that in putting this championship together? It's everything. I don't believe you can have the kind of program that wins national championships without it. When I played at Western, we were a family, and we tried to build that at AKO. Every team I've ever coached, I wanted to have that sort of a sense of community and a feeling that way, and we have it here. The saddest thing is going to be when we leave this field, a lot of guys are all done playing for me, but there's no better way to leave it than as a national champion. No question about it. Key points in the game, John. I thought in the second half you got the running game going a little bit better than that in the first. Craig Carter got going. That was huge for you. Your defense stepped it up a notch. You changed a little bit of the defensive assignments. Tell me the turning points there. Well, there's so many. You go back. We got the punt run that got us the first down, and we went in and scored the touchdown there. And I think coming back and kind of answering the bell after halftime was important. But then, they scored 2 quick touchdowns and took the lead. And I think the thing was, though, at that point in time, we had some defensive adjustments to make. But we had already established, starting in the second half, that we were going to be able to run the ball. And so I don't think we were as concerned at 21-18 as we were getting towards the end of the half. When we started, man, they were holding us in there all day long, and we could not get a call. And we were finally getting some pressure in the third and fourth quarter there. Our defensive line came up real big on that. And that forced him to throw over. They're running all timing routes underneath stuff. And when you get people in his face and you're getting some hits on him, all of a sudden the ball comes out a little sooner than he wants to. They haven't made their break on the ball yet, and we get an opportunity to break things up or incomplete passes. The defense stepped it up when they had to, and special teams wise, we didn't have a punt block. We didn't have any return, big yardage on returns against us. I mean, every phase of the game we played about as good as we're capable of playing. Okay. Where's the program go from here, John? You alluded to a lot of the players moving on and not coming back next year due to graduation. Where does this program sit after this? I know it's an early question, but I'm sure you
still have some good players returning, but I'll tell you right now, if I'm a high school football player in the area, I don't know where I want to play more than a national championship program.
No question about it. Congratulations, John. John, go ahead and enjoy it. John, see you in the future.
Follow us down. We have the whole team ready.
That's about it right now here, guys. I'll still try to get some more interviews for us. A lot of things going on down here, but obviously it's a great celebration. Let's go back up to the booth right now to Frank.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Good job. Kane Carter, you are very close to Bloomfield in this AKO program. You tell me, he never really keyed on it there in that interview, but you tell me what it means to him, first as a coach, and to his team to win this national championship.
Well, first of all, for John, it's it's something that it's been the driving factor in what he's been doing in the game for the past 10 years, really, as he started out as a high school coach. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people will throw John flack about being a little too over the top with wanting to win, but the bottom line is that every single one of those players cares more about him and cares more about this team as a result of him asking them to do more. And today was the end result of 4 years of asking them to do more. And I couldn't be happier for John. Coached with him for 10 years myself, and for the dedication I see from fifth-year guys like Craig Carter, the effort they put in to finally getting that little drink from the cup is there, and I couldn't be happier.
All right, well, he's definitely one of the most successful coaches this area has seen in football. He built a resounding and dominant program at Bell River. He's made the move to Sandwich, and they're having success this season with his senior team being undefeated. And now again, probably his biggest achievement as a head coach, I would guess to this point, a national championship.
Without a doubt.
So John Bloomfield leads this AKO franchise to their first national championship since 1954. It's been 45 years running now, and they're going to close out the decade in grand style, winning their third national championship as a franchise. 32-29 is your final. Windsor defeats the Okanagan Sun. Dominic Papa is still working on some post-game interviews down on the sideline. And just a quick summation again, we'll pick this game up at the half. It was 10-7, guys, at the half. It was low scoring, nothing going in the first quarter, scoreless through one. And then the third quarter, all offense broke loose. 30 points combined, 2 lead changes, and following a Silverman touchdown pass to Thorpe, the Sun had their first lead of the game at 22-18, and that came after 42 minutes of football. Fratmen were able to recover, and then they get a touchdown from Carter, 13 yards out, but not after a key third and short situation completion. Dan Gray, who ends up being the offensive player of the game, to Jeremy Martian, who could also strike a good case for being selected as the offensive player of this game. They gained 17 yards on the play down to the 15, and then 2 plays later, Carter closes it out with a 13-yard run. Silverman, of course, leads the team down the field, and he runs in from 1 yard out to close it to 32-29. Dominic Papa has more. Let's go down to Dom.
Steve Rycroft now joins us from the AKO Fratmen organization, and this is a long time coming. I know you guys have been gunning for this for a long time, for a lot of years, and finally it comes together this year. And can you put in words right now, Steve? Like, have you had a chance to really put this in perspective?
45 years, I don't know, it's still settling in, but wow, what an amazing team. It's a great year to win it at home. It's been busy week, but it's all worthwhile now.
It's incredibly emotional down here, this team. Yourself, coaching staff, the players, everybody's such a unity here. Talk to me about the emotional side of this team. This is a pretty close-knit bunch, isn't it?
It's close-knit, yeah. The coaches are, they spend a lot of time with the team. They're like family within themselves. The fraternity's like a family, so just all around, it's a big family event. And it's a win all around for everybody.
Yeah, no question about it. You were a big part of getting this game here, putting it together. How much work went into that, Steve?
The last 2 weeks, I've had a phone hanging out of my ear, and it's been nuts. But I'm going to relax tonight finally and enjoy the win.
Well, certainly you deserve it, Steve. You've made our city proud. Congratulations. You're a big part of that. And congratulations to the AKO organization. And go and enjoy this championship,
Thank you.
okay? Steve Rycroft of the AKO Fratmen organization. An outstanding job here putting this together, of course, hosting it. And a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into it, but they've done it all this year, and they've won a national championship. So let's go back up to the booth.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Well, boys, we're going to close it out here. Your final in the 1999 Canadian Bowl is the Windsor AKO Fratmen 32, the Okanagan Sun 29. For Kane Carter, Darren Prowse, Dominic Papa, and our producer, Paul Tan, and the rest of the Cogeco Cable Sports staff, I'm Frank Graziano bidding you a good night from Windsor Stadium, where the Fratmen have closed the deal. 45 years is out. A third national championship is in. Good night, everybody.